is not theory. This stuff works. Again, louder!
Debbie Licurdo had just moved up to lead the team, and so I was replacing Debbie as a salesperson.
I remember when Ken Monday first walked in, from Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner.
She set me in front of the computer, as only Debbie could, and said, hey, here's a list for you.
He wanted the process, he wanted the call sheets.
Don't delete anything.
And basically I said, yes, sit down and dial the phone, dude.
Just listen to Bruce and do what he does. So I listened to Bruce and I thought, I need an interpreter.
It's more like, Bruce, let me just talk.
I sat there that first morning going, okay, what have I got myself into? We've moved across country, 3 teenage daughters, and here I sit.
Ken and I were totally opposites, and boy, it showed up.
And so I just started my own little script, kind of based loosely on what Bruce was saying to these pastors that he was talking to. Got on the phone, started calling pastors.
He did bring us processes, he brought us systems, and some of those we're still standing on today.
There was one thing that we had in common, and that was we both loved the church, and we both loved Financial Peace University. Our hearts united in that mission.
And God took it from there.
So we never really even intended to have a church market that we went after. It really was born out of Dave's heart. He had walked through bankruptcy and he didn't want anyone else to feel that way.
And the short version of the story is that caused us over the next 2.5 years of fighting it to lose everything we owned.
And so it really came out of a heart, I want to help people and I want to change their lives.
It's the only thing that takes people from point A to point B and says, this is exactly how you get to where you want to be. This is exactly how you change your family tree. And the reason that it works, it's those biblical principles. And even for the last 20 years of FPU, the message is consistent. At the end of the day, it's still God's and Grandma's ways of handling money.
The material's basically unchanging because it's based on scriptural principles. And so that's not going to change.
The very first baby step, the first goal is to have $1,000 in the bank.
Dave made the baby steps as an easy way to walk through the process, communicate with your spouse about it. It is one of those, what I call a tipping point into changing the nation.
I led 15 financial peace classes in my own home church, and just being able to see the impact, you see the light shine in their eyes, that they're actually getting it.
It changed everything for us. When I started here, I had a credit card in my wallet. I was driving a sports car that I used to park it next to Dave because I thought it was funny, and it wasn't. And so, I needed help like crazy.
I think people through the years have gotten that combination of education, but then they've been, again, the application has been the big piece that brought them together.
You see, you will not save money when you get a raise. You will not save money when you get a debt paid off. You will save money when it becomes very, very, very important to save money.
When we sat down and looked at that first budget, I told Jenny, we can do this in 6 months or we can do this in 6 years. What do you want to do? And we're both high D personalities, and so we decided to keep 10 changes of clothes and our bed, and we sold everything else.
You know, we've already figured out normal is broke, and I don't want to be normal.
If you're happy with your timeshare and you're utilizing your timeshare and it's working, hold on to it. But we want you to know that you're not stuck. There is a way out. We're not a listing company. We don't buy nor do we sell timeshares. We are a consumer protection group that specializes in getting people out of their timeshare contracts, and we give a 100% money back guarantee, period.
We will assess your situation, we'll assign you a client manager, and then they'll hold your hand throughout the whole process, and they will assure that you get written confirmation from the resort that you're out of your timeshare contract. It's really a huge responsibility for us to have our customer service at the highest level, and I believe we do that.
I wanted to exit my timeshare because we had invested more than $40,000 into the timeshare, and we realized that it was a bad investment. I was very happy with the service that I did receive from the timeshare exit team. They were able to put mine and my husband's minds at ease, knowing that they were going to take care of everything and that this bad investment was never going to be passed to our children.
To learn more, call today Hey, folks, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. We are so thankful that you've decided to tune in with us today. Folks watching at DaveRamseyShow.com on the app, and then, of course, on YouTube with the live stream. Folks are joining in at the chat room next to the video channel there on YouTube. So thrilled to have you there and joining the conversation. Now, I'm hanging out here with some ladies that are here on the front row. They're looking into the glass, ready for the show to start. And where are you all from? Tell me.
I am from Minor Hill, Tennessee.
Okay. Who do you know these ladies, or are these complete strangers? Who are they?
I know them. That is my mom, Marjorie Glass. She also lives in Minor Hill. This is my niece, Ray Glass, and she came all the way from West Palm Beach, Florida. Wow. Because her dad, my brother, Randall Glass.
We got to go.
Oh,
Dave's up right now.
Okay, all right.
Sacrifice, determination.
You can be intentional about your character, your work ethic.
You've got to be on the same page.
Today we're calling to let you know we are debt-free, house and everything.
You have done really, really, really good. And you're not going to quit now.
It's been a huge witness for us to be able to share that.
It was time to get serious.
Intentionality, people.
Celebrate the success.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live it. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show. You call in, we'll talk. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. You jump in, we'll talk about your life and your money. John starts us off in Georgia. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve, man. How can I help?
Yes, sir. I just want to say thank you for taking my call. Spent last week, and
You're cutting out, sir. You're going to you're going to walk to where your phone works again.
Okay, Dave. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry about that. My question is, we just started listening a couple weeks ago, and we're working on our debt snowball, and my wife hit last week, and it's on her car. I just wonder if we should use these.
Okay, I'm going to put you on hold, and we're going to try to get you to where your phone works again. Sarah is in Cincinnati. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
I'm great, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I have a question for you. I wanted to possibly maybe make some extra money.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband's a little skeptical, and so he says, call Dave and ask Dave.
Okay. What are you wanting to do to earn extra money?
Sell female, or not female, but weight loss and skin products for like a company. Should I say the name of the company?
You can if you want.
It's called It Works.
Okay. Is this like a multi-level organization?
Yes.
And that's the reason for your husband's skepticism?
Yes.
Okay. All right. It's not that he doubts you, and it's not that he doubts that you could probably earn some extra money, and he loves probably that you're willing to. He doesn't think this is going to work.
Well, yeah, he just he's just very skeptical. So he's not that entrepreneur type like I am.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, you have a really good job. You should just be happy.
Mm-hmm.
We're debt free. Besides the house, we owe like $75,000 left on our mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gone to your classes. We do the 15% into the retirement,
Mm-hmm.
and we combined income is like $130.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So the risk, I don't see it being very high.
Mm-hmm.
As far as
and so why are you doing this?
Because I feel like I was meant for more. Like I've like for selling or something.
Okay.
I've read like all your books and all the Zig Ziglar books, and I'm just like,
what do you do? What do you do for a living now?
I work for ThyssenKrupp Elevator here in Cincinnati, an office admin, and it's a good business, and there's like room for growth and everything, and So.
All right, here's what I would tell you. All right, I think you need to stop and start thinking about what, if you wanted to open your own business and use your skills in the marketplace because you're entrepreneurial and you wanted to open it as a side business, and grow it to the point that it could even replace your full-time job at some point, you need to kind of back up and whiteboard that and say, if I was going to do that and I could do anything in the world I wanted to do and time and money were no object, right, that kind of a question, then what would I do? Okay? I don't know if the answer to that question would be the thing you're proposing.
Okay.
I think this just came across your path from a friend and it scratched your itch, your entrepreneurial itch, but you probably weren't sitting around going, I want to get in the weight loss and makeup business. I want to hire and train salespeople for a living in a high turnover environment. You probably weren't sitting around saying that. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Okay.
It does make sense.
So, because here the upside of multi-level organizations is that the sky's the limit, whatever you want to do. The downside is they're so hyped up, and people that are in them drive the rest of us crazy because we don't want to talk to you when you're in them because you drive us nuts. You know what I'm talking about. And and the downside is that kind of stuff. And the downside is that, people get into them thinking, I'd like to make a little extra money. I'd like to be entrepreneurial. And they really don't realize what they're getting into. And that you basically, if you're going to make good money in a multi-level, 6 figures or more, you're going to be working a ton of hours, nights and weekends. You're going to be recruiting salespeople for a living. That's what you do. You are in the recruiting business. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing inherently evil or bad about that. And you're going to be training salespeople, and you're going to be in a high turnover environment because most of them don't make it in that environment. It's a high turnover environment. And so if that is what you want to do, if that's your calling, then this is a good way to flesh out your calling. And it's a legitimate way to do that. But that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a high turnover sales force that you're hiring and training all the time. And that is your job. It ain't makeup. And it's not weight loss. Because the makeup and weight loss doesn't sell itself. And if you want to get in and make the big money, that's in multi-level, that's what you're doing. And I've got friends that make 7 figures in that business. They do very, very well. Make over $1 million a year doing it. But for every one of those, I know 1,000 that didn't last 90 days and ended up with 6 boxes of makeup in their garage that they were paying on their credit card for, which you're not going to do that. I know that. But, you just have to think through what is it about this that's appealing, and would I have been doing this if I started from scratch and whiteboarded and led me into this? And it's okay if you want to do it. I'm not mad about it. But I think that's the thing. And your husband is aware of all the high turnover and high disappointment rate around multi-levels, and that's what he's cynical about. And that's what he's kind of got his eyebrow raised about, going, really? You really want to do that? And so in that sense, he's not trying to be a dream killer. He's just trying to say, hey, you got to really stop and think about what you're getting into. But if you want to give it a run, hey, I'll support you on it, and he will too, probably. But you just got to have a real clear business mind about how you want to do it. What I want to do is I want you to come to Business Boutique November 4th and 5th, which is our Christy Wright's. I'll be speaking there. Donald Miller will be speaking there. Christine Kane will be speaking there. Rachel Cruz will be speaking there. It's a 2-day event in Nashville, and I'm going to give you a ticket. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you 2 tickets. Bring one of your friends with you. And it's an event equipping women to make money doing what they love. It's ladies that want to start and own and operate their own business, or already have started and own and want to operate their own business. And some of them are multi-level. Some of them aren't. But a lot of them are finding different ways to do their dreams than multi-level. So Business Boutique. Hold on, I'll have Kelly give you a couple tickets. If you want to come to Nashville on November 4th and 5th, you're coming as our guest. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. One of the things I hate about the political cycle when it comes up a presidential New Year is you have people on all the news channels. You have people on the left and on the right. You have Republicans and you have Democrats telling you how they're going to fix your life. And the reason I hate that is, A, it's a lie. It's not true. B, it makes you think that you can sit around and wait on one of those morons to fix your life. There's nobody on the news channel that's going to fix your life. There's no government program that's going to fix your life. There's no Republican that if he gets elected is going to become Jesus, and there's no Democrat that if they get elected is going to be the Jesus of your life and give you everything you ever wanted. It's an absolute lie. And it's been going on since man invented politics, I guess. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care where it came from. What I care is what it's doing to this nation and what it's doing to some of you out there that are watching. You are not a victim. You're not a victim of big corporations. You're not a victim of Wall Street. You're not a victim of capitalism. You're not a victim of wealth inequality. You're not a victim of racism. You're not a victim. Now, are all of those things real? And do they sometimes oppress you and me? You bet. Had a big company step on my neck and kick my face in last week. Pissed me off, man. Just broke a contract. I mean, and they just got away with it because they got such power that all I could do is sue this multi-million-dollar company, and I'm not going to waste my millions of dollars doing that. It made me mad. I was oppressed by a big company. But you know what? I'm not a victim. I'm not going to adopt the thing, well, you can't get ahead in America because that one big company kicked Dave Ramsey's face in. No. You get up off your butt. You're the hero of this story. You are not the victim in this story. And when people tell you they're a victim, that you're a victim and they have the solution, that makes them the hero. Do not let a politician, do not let a news anchor become the hero in your story. You are the hero in your story. You are in charge of your destiny. You are the one that gets up off your dadgum couch and decides to live your life. You're the one that gets sick and tired of being sick and tired and decides to get out of debt, decides to change your body by going into an exercise program, decides to read some nonfiction books this year, decides to understand the Bible for the first time in your life, decides to start attending church and becoming that kind of dad that you've always going to be. You're not a victim. You're not a victim of your parents and your upbringing, your dysfunctional family. Honey, we all came from dysfunctional families. Some families put the fun in dysfunctional. You got to decide. You're the hero. You're not the victim. You're in charge of your life. I'm not in charge of your life, but I will show you a way on the money piece, the leadership and business piece, the parenting and the marriage piece. Ramsey Solutions will show you a way where you get to live a better life, where you get to be the hero in the story. But I'm not going to fix your life. And don't come up to me at some book signing and say, Dave Ramsey, you changed my life. Because I don't change anybody's life. I show you how to change your life. One of the most overlooked priorities in a family's financial plan is life insurance. Having it and having the right amount are crucial. If you died, how would your family pay the bills, put food on the table, and plan for the future? Term life insurance is protection for the ones you love. It's not complicated and it's not expensive. People need to deal with this, which is why I found a company I trust and I do business with, Xander. Please take the time to take care of your family. So we do these Entree Leadership one-day events for business leaders and for small business people in particular. And we've done 6 or 7 every spring, every fall, all over America. This fall, we're not. We're going to do one, a big one, in Kansas City. It's going to be huge. It is October the 19th. Now, Chris Hogan will be speaking. I will be speaking. Christy Wright will be speaking. And it's Entree Leadership one day. If you don't know what Entree Leadership is, it is our playbook on how we win the business Super Bowl. It's the book on how we've run our business, the #1 New York Times best-selling book. And if you want to know the 6 essentials that we have discovered for people to win in leadership and win in business, come out. It's going to be October the 19th in Kansas City. And that's centrally located. Jump on a plane, run over there, have a great day. It's a beautiful town. You'll have a great time with us, and we would love to have you. And the tickets are on sale now at DaveRamsey.com. But guess what? In addition to that, we're going to live stream this puppy. That's right. No, we're not going to replay it. No, it's not pay-per-view. You get to watch it as we do it live on that day from Kansas City, October the 19th. You can watch it anywhere in the world. And if you got the internet, man, you can watch it. It's that simple. And it's $29. $29. That's a deal. And if you want like 10 people in your office to watch it, that'd be like $290, right? That's a deal. It's unbelievable. If you got a big office and you want to call us and get a bargain on the whole place watching it, do that. We'll work it out. Hey, we want you to watch this live stream. We don't want you to miss this information. Entrepreneurism, small businesses are too important to the American economy. We've got a heart for small business. So, October the 19th, for the first time ever, it will not be replayed. It will not be replayed. It's a live stream that day. It is not on demand. It's a live stream that day, October the 19th for $29. Get your tickets at DaveRamsey.com or EntreLeadership.com. Or if you can't figure all that out, call customer care. They'll help you. 888-22-PEACE, 888-227-3223. I'm excited about this. We want to try to touch 10 to 20,000 small business people during that one day, and you're one of them. So $29 is an unbelievable deal for a day-long conference. All right, Jeremy is with us. Jeremy is in San Antonio. Hi, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm doing great, Dave.
Good. How can I help?
I had a timeshare question. We had just went to my mom and dad's timeshare, and while we were there, we sat down for a meeting, and one of the salesmen tried to sell me and my wife one and told us we should put it all on a credit card. And I asked the guy, have you ever heard of Dave Ramsey? And he told me he was your personal financial advisor.
He told me what? He said what?
He told us that he used to be your personal financial advisor, and he sold you 3 timeshares. But we want to know, right? That's what we said.
A timeshare salesman said he was my personal financial advisor.
That's what he said.
This guy's got anatomical attributes, doesn't he? I mean, he's got guts. I'll just tell you.
He did have it. He had big guts, and he also claims, he said, how do you think Dave sells all of his stuff? You have to call in and give him a credit card. And I said, he doesn't accept credit cards. It's something else, Dave.
That's funny. That is seriously funny. No, I've never owned a timeshare. I've made every financial mistake I think known to man except that one. I never bought a timeshare, and I didn't have the financial mistake of having a timeshare salesman as my financial advisor either. I can assure you of that.
Right?
This guy, I mean, you could tell he was lying if his mouth was moving, couldn't you? That's funny.
Absolutely.
Where was this?
It was in Missouri, Branson.
In Branson, Missouri.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure timeshares are big there. Oh my goodness.
They are.
Wow. Well, you at least know one character's out there that's, isn't it funny? People are so short-sighted that they think if they just make up stuff that you're so gullible you'll go along.
I know. Absolutely. It was incredible.
So that's a blast, Jeremy. Well, thanks for sharing the story, man. I appreciate it. That's something else. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. Listen, timeshares, folks, I mean, that's just straight up stupid. Never buy a timeshare. Never buy a timeshare. Never buy a timeshare. Never buy a timeshare. They have like a 97% customer dissatisfaction. You're stuck in them. You can't get out. There's no market for them because you don't own anything. You can't sell them. You're stuck in it. And so it becomes this consumption thing. And with what you've spent, you could have stayed in the freaking Ritz, you know? You could have stayed in, Four Seasons or something. What you spent on that week, it's $14,000. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, well, people do it all the time, and it's a really, really, really dumb idea. Hope I wasn't unclear. All right, Philip is with us in Pensacola, Florida. Hi, Philip. How are you?
I'm great, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I just finished the Money Makeover. My dad got it for me for my birthday, and I finished it and was very motivated to start cutting into my student debt.
Good.
I'm 27. I'm a school teacher, and I have $33,800 in student loans right now. I just cleared out my savings so I could have $1,000. So my question is, when I break down my student loans, I have 6 unsubsidized loans, 1 subsidized loan. So I'm really just curious, what's the difference? Which one should I pay off first? Should I treat it more like the debt snowball, where I start with the 6.8?
You got to pay them. You got to pay them all, so you might as well pay them off smallest to largest.
Okay.
Just like we teach.
And because I have, my minimum payment is $450.
Mm-hmm.
With the Every Dollar budget tool, I'm thinking I can do about $1,200 a month, which can be done in about 2.5 years.
Excellent.
And that's not counting whatever I can make during the summer.
Excellent.
So should I just do my minimum $450,
and then take your smallest debt and throw the other $800 or so at it that you can do a month?
Okay,
so what's your smallest loan?
$32, and that's at 6.8.
$32?
30. So I guess the structure is
30. Did you say $32?
Yes. $32, and then the next highest is $601.
Okay, well, we don't have to even talk about the $32. Just write a check and pay that one off. The $601 you're going to pay off out of that, pay $450, and then put $600 on that one and knock it out, right? And then what's the next one?
$820.
Oh, good. You're going to get it the next month.
And then that's when it's, let's see, then at 6.2%.
I don't care about the percents. I don't care about the percents. The interest rate is not relevant. Just, we've knocked out 3 debts in a month and a half here in our discussion right now.
Yeah.
32, 600, and 820. Boom, they're gone. And you just do them in that order, regardless of whether they're subsidized, whether they're private, whatever they are. They've all got to be paid. And so let's just get them done as fast as we can. And the more you do that, by the way, that $450 is no longer $450 to maintain because you just got rid of 3 loans. So you don't have that payment anymore. And now that you got that payment freed up, that's going to be even more towards that next one. So maybe down to, I don't know, 400 or something now that you got rid of those payments. And so that means now we've got a little bit more to throw at the smallest debt as you come up on it on the debt snowball. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. And it does work. It does work. So, hey, thanks for the call. You can follow me on Twitter if you'd like, at Dave Ramsey. There's about 750,000 of you doing so. Where does going back to school fit into the baby steps, Elle says? It's not a baby step issue. I think you've got to look at it in your budget, in your cash flow, because you got to pay cash for it. And how are you going to do that? And are you going to quit work to go back to school? Or are you going to take some classes at night and you're just going to scratch that out of the budget? What's going on? What's the deal there? And so, that's the process you got to deal with. And then that'll tell you where in the baby steps. If you're going to quit work and you have to pile up a big pile of money, then this would be well after baby step 3 is where it would fall. But if you're just going to cash flow it and it slows down your get out of debt plan, that's okay. That's all right. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
So you're ready to get to work. There's just one small detail blocking the way. Nobody's hired you. Yet. Sometimes when you're looking for a job, it feels like you're swimming in a sea of other applicants. You've got to know what you're doing if you want to get noticed. And getting noticed means you at least have a good-looking resume. Just 1 page will do. Keep it simple and easy on the eye. You've got like 2 seconds to get your future boss's attention. If they don't like what they see, you'll lose the job before you ever even open your mouth. Be sure to list all of your contact information. And I know it's painful to suggest, but if your current email address is cutesy or boasts about your favorite sports team, it's gotta go. Next up, your results paragraph. That's right, skip the objective statement. A results paragraph puts the focus on what you have to offer. In 100 words or less, with short and powerful sentences, list your accomplishments. Think, what can I write that'll make them want to keep reading? After that, list your current or most recent education details. College information should include your major and your GPA. Then list your work experience. Go in order, starting with your most recent employer and work backwards. List your responsibilities and big wins for each position using action verbs like planned or designed or managed. Check and double check your resume for spelling and grammar problems too. But here's the deal. No matter how great your resume is, your resume alone won't get you a job. A resume just gets you an interview. It's the interview that lands you the job. So take the interview seriously. Before you ever even show up, do some homework. And start by cleaning up your social media profiles. Employers these days are going to look you up online. Research the company. Know what they do and why they do it. Write down at least 3 questions that you should ask them about the position. And on interview day, be sure to dress the part. That means nicer than what the employees of the company wear on a daily basis. If the employees wear jeans and t-shirts, then you should show up in khakis and a button-down. And yeah, that means shirt tucked in, guys. Just don't overdo it. Leave the tux at home. You need to show up 10 minutes early and bring extra copies of your resume, a notepad, and a pen. Give everyone you meet a firm handshake and keep good eye contact. You'll be asked about your strengths and weaknesses, what you have to offer, and a whole lot more. Practice your answers ahead of time and be confident. But don't be cocky. Above all, just be yourself. The employer wants to hire a human, someone with personality, professionalism, and a sense of humor. They don't need a robot. Resist the urge to ask about perks, pay, or vacation days in that first interview. Instead, you should close the interview by asking, what's the next step in the process? Of course, your next step should be to send a thank you note by old school mail. Just write a quick note to thank them for the interview and to show them that you're really excited about the job. Now you know what it takes to build a solid resume and ace an interview. So get to work.
Are high healthcare costs getting you down?
Are you confused trying to navigate the health insurance world?
Do you wish you could find an affordable, biblical solution to your healthcare costs?
Based on New Testament principles, Christian Healthcare Ministries, or CHM, helps Christian families, churches, and businesses join together as the body of Christ to share their major healthcare costs.
As a CHM member, you can go to any doctor or hospital you prefer. You aren't bound by an approved healthcare provider list, and all treatment decisions are made between you and your doctor. No treatment approvals are ever part of the CHM experience.
For tens of thousands of Christians, CHM is a trusted, affordable, and biblical healthcare solution. And it can be the solution for you as well. Visit us online or call today to learn more about how we can serve your family, church, or business. Christian Healthcare Ministries, 1-800-791-6225.
chministries.org.
All right, folks, Jeff and Angela are up next for their debt-free scream, and Angela has her own YouTube channel and has been documenting their family's journey to get out of debt, and they have done it. And today is an important finish line, the moment where they share their story with millions of people, including you fine folks here on the YouTube channel, and then they will do their debt-free scream as a family. And this is always fun to talk to the kiddos before the scream. Now, we'll talk to them post-debt-free scream to get an idea, what is it like after the scream? But this is Emma, am I right? You're 11, and Brooklyn is 8. And have you been practicing your scream, or are you just going to do it on the fly?
Just going to do it on the fly.
What about you?
Just going to do it on the fly.
No practice at all. Have you run it through your head at all?
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So who's going to be louder?
Me.
You are? What do you think? Do you agree?
No.
Okay, now listen, I want you to shatter the glass on Dave's studio, okay? That's how loud it's got to be. We'll see how they do coming up right now.
Your life is an adventure. Emotionally, you've just been through the ringer. You're not afraid of hard work, and you have no debt. Everything paid for. Very, very well done. You did the hard work, and you've done so good. You know when you've had it, that something has to happen inside of you. Slow and steady. Live on less than you make. Believe that it can happen. It does happen every day in America. You are the answer. God's blessings pouring to and through you are the answer. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, Jeff and Angela are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey, we're
Dave.
excellent. How are you?
Welcome, welcome. Where are you from?
Thank you. Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada.
Ontario.
Absolutely.
That's a bit of a haul to Nashville.
It was a bit of a haul.
Bit of a haul to Nashville. So how much debt have you paid off? You're here to do your debt-free scream.
Absolutely. $58,704.10.
I love it. And how long did that take?
25 months.
Way to go. And range of income during that time?
We started off at 115 and ended up at 130.
Excellent. Very cool. Very cool. What kind of debt was this?
Oh, 2 of it was student loans. So what was left after paying on student loans for 10 years, we had 4 credit cards, 2 lines of credit, and a car loan.
Ah, you were normal.
We were so normal.
And normal sucks, so you decided not to do it anymore.
Absolutely.
So tell me what happened 25 months ago that caused this to change.
So we just came back from a trip to Walt Disney World, which was sponsored by MasterCard. And I came home and kind of freaked out at how I was going to make yet one more minimum payment. We had a good income and had absolutely nothing to show for it. So it was the season of Lent. I had given up watching TV, but did not give up Google. So I added up all the bills, went on to Google, Googled how to get out of debt fast, and your name and the baby steps came up, and I just went right in.
There it is, just like
works.
that.
It's simple. I can do this. Let's do it.
Okay. And so you sat down with Jeff and you said, things are getting ready to change? What happened?
Yeah,
what
he was, well, being the man of a house full of girls, he was hanging out in the garage, and he came in. He came in. I said, okay, this is what we're going to do. And he kind of looked at me like, I've heard this before, but okay.
What were you thinking, Jeff, with this conversation?
Again, just this is another get out of debt program that a couple of them hadn't worked before. We tried but had failed. And this one come along, and it was simple. The steps are out there, and just follow this one and go to the next one. And all of a sudden, debts start getting paid off. And you start gaining traction, and it starts to get exciting.
Yeah, but
Trapping him in a car for 5 hours on the way to Minneapolis for a weekend, listening to your podcast also helped to convince him that this is probably the way we should go.
Your podcast is so infectious that I dare anybody to listen to 1 or 2 of your shows and not be absolutely hooked and absolutely say, hey, I can do this. Because you talk to people who have $20,000 making up to $200,000 and $300,000. They've all got debt, but they can all get out of debt. And that's what makes the program so great.
Okay, so you started, and I would have too, Jeff, a bit cynical, and you started going, yeah, right, kind of an eye roll and that kind of thing. But at what point did you really start thinking this one might be different?
Well, it got different, I think, when I wanted to go and do something. And I said, all right, I need some money to go and do this or that or buy this or that. And Ange said, well, that's not in the budget. And I looked at her and I said, what do you mean budget? Like, we'll just put it on credit. And she says, no, we don't do that anymore. And so I learned that if I wanted to do something, we had the money to do it, but I had to think about what I was doing before I did it. And that's what makes this program work so well, is that you can do stuff with your money as long as you write down and go, hey, this is what I'm doing with the money this month.
Yeah.
And because it's not restrictive to the point where you can't do anything, it's just here.
It is if you want it to be, but it's up to you.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And communication too. We learned how to communicate over money. We'd never talked about money before. It was just there, and we spent it, and he'd spend it, and I resent him, so I'd go spend money, and then he'd resent me, and he'd go spend money. It was just a vicious cycle of not communicating about the money.
So she says, no, it's not in the budget. And you said, so teach me about this budget thing. I got to figure out how to get it in the budget.
Exactly.
Hunting and fishing had to find its way into the budget,
That's
for sure.
okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I love it. Very cool. Now, your daughters, I guess, are with you. What are their ages and names?
This is Brooklyn, and she will be 9 next month. And this is Emma, and she just turned 11.
All right. Very cool. So have they kind of participated, or they just had to endure this process?
There was a lot of enduring, but also a lot of learning to say it's not in the budget. And I think they're a little tired of hearing that. So they're happy to hear that some things are making it back into the budget now.
Well, now there's room in the budget.
There is some room now.
$59,000 later.
Yep.
And you did that in 25 months. That's impressive, you all. So what do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is when they hear you paid off $59,000?
I think the first thing, of course, is getting on the budget. But for us, we'd done budgets before, but they'd never work because we never checked in with the budget. We just sort of wrote it down and then sort of ignored it. So going back in, checking in with the budget, and then always keeping that in mind. If anything came up, having to go back in and sort of refandangle some numbers and make it work so that we were always...
Those mid-month course adjustments.
There were some pleasant ones, absolutely, as things came up for sure. But yeah, just making sure your numbers are always on track and being conscious and intentional.
Okay. And when you start doing all that, you start telling your money what to do.
Absolutely.
Then you make different choices, what Jeff was saying a minute ago. And of course, the big choice here is you did what, $2,000 to $3,000 a month towards debt.
On average, yeah.
That's pretty strong.
It was some months were harder than others, but yeah, absolutely. We wanted to pull it together.
That's the average over a 2-year period of time. So you've been on beans and rice. I mean, you've had to really watch what you were doing.
We have, because there were some things we didn't necessarily want to sacrifice. So both the girls are involved in figure skating, and that is not a cheap sport, but we wanted to make sure that they were able to do that. So definitely making it work meant paying very close attention.
Yeah, okay. Very cool. Very cool. So the budget's one of the keys. Any other keys?
The budget.
The budget and communicating.
It forced you guys to communicate better than you ever had.
It definitely forces you to communicate.
Yeah.
And the budget. It tells you what you can and can't do with the money that's coming in.
Yeah.
And if everybody was just on a budget that they spoke about at the beginning of the month before all the money was spent, it would bring so many more couples together, and it would let them know, here, this is what we can do this month. And if we want to do other things, we have to make sacrifices. And that's the key.
Yeah, I think that's why this every dollar budget, online budget, is working so well with the apps on the phones, because everybody can just check and you can do those mid-course adjustments, and you got an extra way to communicate back and forth. So,
Absolutely.
Very cool. Very cool. What was the hardest part of this for you all?
Saying no. Florida. Yeah, the trips to Florida. So, of course, being where we are, the winters can be a little bit cold and excruciating. His parents go down to Florida every year for 3 months, and we'd always join them for a week, spend a March break down there visiting the grandparents. And for the last couple of months, or for the last couple of years, it meant saying no, and that was tough. Giving up those yearly trips to Florida was definitely a hard one.
It makes the cold even colder.
It makes it so cold, especially when they're posting pictures of palm trees and sands. I'm like, killing me here.
Thank you, Facebook, for rubbing my nose in it. Yeah.
Here's the pile of snow in front of your house, and it was,
Wow. All right, very cool. All right, Jeff and Angela, Brooklyn and Emma from Ontario, Canada. $59,000 paid off in 25 months, making $115 to $130. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Great job, you guys. Great job. I love it. I love it. I love it. That is how it's done. And I definitely got to come south where it's warmer for this debt-free scream. So there you go. Good stuff. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Warning, if you want to do your debt-free scream, you can't just walk into our lobby. It doesn't work that way. These are booked with Kelly, reserved spots, literally months in advance. So 2 or 3 months before you get out of debt, you need to have, if you want to come right at the time you get out of debt, you kind of got to go ahead and schedule it with Kelly. And you just go to DaveRamsey.com, or you can email in and she'll work with you and get it on the calendar. But you can't just walk in and go, I'm going to do my debt-free scream. Doesn't work that way. Oh, and by the way, if you're still using a credit card, I'm not going to put you on to do a debt-free scream because you didn't get it. You didn't understand. The idea of being debt-free is to stay that way and quit using debt. So just to help you out, don't even apply. We're not going to let you. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
There's a movement happening of women who are stepping into their God-given gifts. Some are just getting started, and some are already building their dream. Where do you turn to overcome the fear of starting something new? Where can you find the know-how and get a plan to bring your vision to life? Find these answers and more to build, grow, and run your business at the Business Boutique event. The Business Boutique event covers marketing, blogging, and social media. It's about overcoming fear and stepping into your passion. Business Boutique is equipping women to make money doing what they love. Join us in Nashville, Tennessee this fall. You've got the passion, we've got the plan.
Myth, you can get a great deal on a new car. A new car loses 60% of its value in the first 4 years you own it. That turns $28,000 into $11,000 in 48 months. If you're driving a $28,000 average ticket sale brand new car right now, once a week on your way to work, roll down the window, throw out a $100 bill to get the effect of what's going on. The truth is that driving a used car is what the average millionaire does. That's how they became a millionaire.
I literally started my business on a card table in my living room. In those days, I was the one responsible for keeping track of my expenses. And if I wanted my family to eat, I had to make sure the money was coming in. I was a true entrepreneur. Nowadays, I know there's a better way. It's called FreshBooks, and I'm a big fan of what they do. FreshBooks is an online software and mobile app that allows you to track your time, capture expenses, and create professional invoices. It's easy and it works. Find out what over 5 million entrepreneurs and small business owners just like you have already discovered. You can try it free today at getfreshbooks.com. Just enter the Dave Ramsey Show under How Did You Hear About Us for your free 30-day trial. That's getfreshbooks.com. And remember, enter the Dave Ramsey Show to get started today.
All right, by popular demand, I'm here with Jeff and Angie just minutes after they did their debt-free scream. Real quick, how does it feel after the scream?
So much better. Yeah, the nerves are gone. I feel good now.
All right.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, you did a great job. It was
Thank
a
you.
good 4-person scream, sounded good, maybe even a little bit of harmony in there. Here's what people want to know on the chat room. They didn't tell me this, but I'm judging by the comments. They love your dress. The ladies love your dress.
Oh, thank you.
And since you're debt-free, what are you wearing? It's like we're on the red carpet. What are you wearing? Or should I say, who are you wearing?
So from my Canadian friends, it's from RW and Company. It was on half price. It's $40 dress.
$40 dress from RW and Company. There you go.
Personal spending money, all cash.
Okay, very nice. And I have to ask you, Jeff, what are you wearing?
Yes.
Yesterday, I picked up this lovely ensemble here locally. $20 for the top, $20 for the bottom.
From Target.
From Target. Target, as the Canadians like to say. Well, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
We got to go. They're loving it. The debt-free scream really was great. Now they're going to enjoy the rest of the show. So should you.
Thanks for joining us, America. This is the Dave Ramsey Show, teaching you to live on less than you make, a concept Congress can't grasp. Jill is with us in Indianapolis. Hi, Jill. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hello. How are you today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I have recently started what I would call a micro business. And so part of the time I work from home and part of the time I take care of my kids. So it's kind of a lifestyle choice as well as a business choice.
Good.
financially, we're okay. We've got the budget, and we can make it on my husband's income. And my business is making money, but not a lot. So my question is, as I look at things that are opportunities for me to learn more and to become a better business owner, how do I prioritize that both money-wise and time-wise with boots on the ground, get it done, and bring home some money?
Okay. So, well, there's always trade-offs. That's what it comes down to. And you just got to say, I'm only willing to put in this much amount of time away from the kids on the business.
Okay.
And you have to just decide that. And then you say, well, the time that I am away, I'm working on the business, I'm full-time on the business. And the time that I'm with the kids, I'm full-time on the kids. What brings stress is when people aren't intentional about either thing, and or they're double-minded, meaning like you're with the kids and you're thinking about business, or you're working on the business and you're thinking about the kids. No, you need to be all one thing at that time, and that'll help you not be stressed. And then you just go, kids, right now, this is mom's business time, and, we're not there. And, and when I am with you, I'm 100% with you.
Okay. I don't think it's as much a question about the kids versus the business, because I do have them in daycare 2 days a week, so I can work on the business, and I think we're doing a pretty good job
I
of
thought
that.
you were saying how to balance your time. I misunderstood.
Well, my question is, how do I balance my time between activities that are going to move the business forward, like sales calls and things like that, versus, okay, I want to learn to be a better business owner, and there are so many opportunities out there, but at some point you have to, I want to work smart, but I also want to get work done. Does that make sense?
Sure. So you just have to put, what you're saying is you have to allocate a portion of your business time to improving your business skills. And then you allocate a portion of your business time to actually going and killing it and dragging it home.
Right.
And there's no magic to that. You can't be 90% self-improvement and 10% work. You won't get anything done.
Right.
And so, but you do have to have some learning to work on the business, not just in the business. And so, again, you allocate that. Here's the good thing about learning. Learning can be done when everybody else is asleep. Turn off the television and go to bed early and wake up super early before the kids get up and before anybody else is up moving around. And you can get an hour reading in every morning if you watch what you're doing. And you can learn all kinds of stuff that way. Now, there's not a lot of conferences going at 4:30 or 5 a.m.
And that's the question that I have, more about the when I actually say, okay, I'm going to go make a commitment and do this, because I am reading and I listen to your podcast, Entree Leadership, learn something from it all the time.
Okay.
But like when I say, okay, there are these 5 conferences that I think would move my business forward, and I know I can't go to all 5 of them.
Well, just pick the one that you think is the best and try one. And what we're always looking for on self-improvement is a return on the investment of the time or the money. And so did I learn something that moved the needle? Or which one of these do I think I'm going to learn something the most that's going to move the needle for me? And, it sounds like Business Boutique would be excellent for you. If you want to come to that conference, I'll help you with the money part of it. I'll give you a ticket. That's Christy Wright's thing. I'll be speaking at that, but it's equipping women to make money doing what they love, and it sounds like that's perfect for to move you along. And if you want to come to Nashville November 4th and 5th, I'll give you a ticket. Matter of fact, I'll give you 2. You can bring a friend with you. Hold on, I'll have Kelly pick up. All right, Kyle is with us. Kyle is in Columbus, Ohio. Hi, Kyle. How are you?
I'm doing all right, thank you.
How can I help?
I started listening to your podcast probably a week ago, and I've just kind of gotten really on fire for, getting started with your plan. One of the problems that I'm having is I'm trying to look up and, figure out how long it's going to take me to get out of debt after we get our safety net put in place. And I'm having some issues getting my wife on board. Basically, she had some friends who I think probably I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure they went through Financial Peace University. And now they are just like, her husband is saying, no, we can't have kids or even try until, this is taken care of, which, I respect. But she doesn't want it to rule our life, so I think she's a little hesitant to try to go as gung-ho as I want to go into, and I'm trying to figure out how to.
Yeah.
Maybe if I
just
could
because
tell
she's
her-
got some friends that are freaks doesn't mean that that's what we teach. Okay, we never tell people to not have kids.
Right. And I'd actually
We
heard
have
that in your
never. He's
show.
never heard that from anything I've ever said anywhere.
Right.
I've never done that. So, I mean, that guy's just over the top, and that's not, so I think your wife needs to say, I think you and your wife need to sit down and say, okay, what this guy's teaching are principles. It's not a cult. You don't have to unplug your brain in order to follow common sense principles. And you two, Kyle and his wife, are adults. You get to decide what you're going to do in your life. You're not giving up your right to decide just because you said I want to go win with something,
Right.
Just because I got a friend that went on a diet and lost some weight, if I want to do some of the things he's doing and have some of those results, but it doesn't mean that somehow a law is suddenly passed that I'm going to federal prison if I go to a restaurant. I get to decide this stuff. I decide how intense I want to take something, and of course, the more intense I take anything, the more intense you take anything, the better the results are going to be if it's a proven process. So, number one, I don't think you need to go in and start announcing to her what needs to be done. I think you need to sit down with your wife and start talking about, hey, here's the problem. Here's what we got. We got all this income. We got nothing to show for it. We got all this income. We got debt. It's a problem. Here, and so, first you need to regularly announce the problem and let her be involved and feel the weight of the problem with you. And the problem is, with the kind of money we make, we ought to be millionaires. And we ought to be able to look out there in the future and say, on that date, we'll be worth $1 million. And right now, we're not going to be worth squat if we keep this up. So it's not about, so talk about why we might do some things differently rather than talk about the things we're going to do differently. Because sometimes what happens is people like, you just start listening to the podcast, you go in and announce to your wife, hey, we're getting out of debt, I'm going to sell your car.
Yeah.
Well, that crap doesn't work, dude. You turn Dave Ramsey's name into a cuss word in your house, right?
Right, yeah.
So instead you sit down and talk about, hey, what if we didn't have any payments? Where would we be? What would we be able to give? What kind of travel would we be able to do? How much wealth could we build? Could we change our family tree for our kids and our family? And just start talking about that kind of stuff. And then she goes, okay, well then say, all right, let's sit down and write it all out. Let's just do a budget and look at it. And so, but again, just because someone decided to take something to the freak zone doesn't mean that you have to. You can still, you two can learn these principles, and you two can be adults, and you can take it as intense as you want to take it, knowing that the more intense you take it, the better your results are going to be. But we've never told people not to have kids. Not even people that had 16 kids. I didn't even tell them not to have kids. And that was tempting. But no, I didn't. You have to wait to have kids till you're out of debt. That is not a Dave Ramsey principle at all. Nowhere in any of our writings or our classes. Didn't learn that in Financial Peace University. It's just not there. That was that guy's interpretation of how he wanted to live his life. You get to decide how you're going to live your life. Let her have that dignity, and maybe she'll join you in this adventure. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Do you budget?
I hate budgeting. It's like my least favorite thing to do.
Tends to be really tense. We usually don't talk about it unless we need to.
It's one of those chores that you tend to put off and put off and put off.
I know it's something I need to do, but I don't necessarily have the greatest feeling about it.
Then why bother with budgeting?
To be homeowners one day.
Prospect of saving money for college for not just one, but 3 children.
For my husband and I to be able to have money to retire at a decent age.
We invite you to experience Every Dollar, a new budgeting tool based on a proven plan that has already helped millions with their money.
This would actually give me visibility to what is going on in our budget. I mean, we can see how much money we're saving for the kids' college and how much we spent in groceries last month.
I don't have to log into my bank account. It's all in one place.
You don't have to guess anything. It shows you step by step what you need to do to plan and to prepare.
Every dollar allows me to focus my money on what matters.
See how easy budgeting can be at everydollar.com. It's free.
Just gonna take it with me. Okay.
See the water, EJ?
So you're here to do a debt-free scream. How much have you paid off?
$234,000.
Wow.
In 50 months. We're Jason and Stephanie Estrada. We're from El Segundo, California. And this is my gym that we're in, Estrada Fitness Club.
Little shout out there. And the website is?
EstradaFitness.com.
There we go. All right, there we go.
We opened the business. We got married. We had a child, our son, EJ, all while getting out of debt.
When we have goals to reach in our lives, we attack them together.
When we're obedient, God will bless us. So we keep that in our heart, in our mind, so that when we are tempted, we can go right back to what we know.
And that's why I do what I do, because when a client is just not believing in themselves, you see them do it, they look back and say, wow, I did it. And they become a professional at overcoming obstacles. And that's what we produce here at Estrada Fitness.
So 50 months ago, 4 years ago, basically.
50 months ago.
What happened that made you guys say, okay, we're changing everything?
And our parents, it's very private. I still, to this day, I don't know what their money situation was.
My mother and father both took out loans for school or what have you. We both had, not known each other. My father had given me The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. And he's like, I wish I would have did this long time ago. So I listened to the audiobook every day to work. Around that same time, Stephanie's mother had given her the book.
She knew I struggled with money, crying over not having enough money, but I read it in like a day because I just read things really fast. And it made sense, but, I wasn't really following the plan yet.
Stephanie had all these purchases that she kind of was just like couldn't afford, or she was like on the edge of affording. And one of them was hiring me as her personal trainer before we were even together.
I'm a dental hygienist, and the dental office I work at is just right around the corner from the gym, and I was making, good money, and every dime was going out. I bought a BMW, I joined a high-end gym, and I met with a financial advisor, and she pretty much told me, no one's gonna marry you with this kind of debt. So I had to make some hard decisions, and my fun little BMW, it was coming up on renewal time, so I sold it. I was under, I had to give him like $2,000, but it really helped. It took almost $800, $2,000 off of my plate every month. And when I got rid of my car, I have my scooter, and it's awesome, actually. I love having no car.
At that point, we had already committed to one another, and we started just, going forward.
Before we got married, he's like, okay, we'll each save $500. And I looked at him like it was crazy. Like, you want me to do what? Like, where am I going to get this $500?
Then I said, I don't think, if we can't save together, we shouldn't be getting married. And she's like,
pouting, whatever.
How am I going to save $500? I said, you can do it. We were listening to your show, and we heard people, giving their testimonies and their stories, and we were like, hey, you know what? This is like motivating. It flipped a switch for us. And then She's like, wait, we can really pay for our wedding cash. We didn't take out any loans, and that was the beginning of our journey. We just felt like we were literally in a zone. You couldn't tell us nothing. At that point, like I tell my clients, it was go time.
Family time is a huge deal to me. So as hectic as my life gets, Sharon and I have always been intentional about putting family time on my calendar. For us, it can be as simple as dinner and a movie at home with our kids and grandkids. Of course, some movies aren't appropriate for little ears. That's why I'm proud to recommend VidAngel. VidAngel is the unique streaming service that puts you in control of the content you're watching by allowing you to filter out the things you don't want your family to hear or see. And get this, each movie has a final price of only $1. Here's how it works. You open an account at vidangel.com, then buy your first movie for $20. Since you own it, you can legally filter out whatever you want. Watch it on any device, and then get $19 back in movie credits when you sell it back within 24 hours. When it's all said and done, your movie cost $1. The cheapest movies out there. That's right, it's a deal. Learn more. Visit vidangel.com. That's vidangel.com.
Sacrifice, determination.
You can be intentional about your character, your work ethic.
You've got to be on the same page.
Today we're calling to let you know we are debt-free, house and everything.
You have done really, really, really good. And you're not going to quit now.
It's been a huge witness for us to be able to share that.
It was time to get serious.
Intentionality, people. Celebrate the success.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live it. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show. It's a show about you. Thank you for calling in. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. 5225. We're going to start off this hour with Caitlin in Baltimore, Maryland. Hi, Caitlin. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm great. Thank you so much for taking my call, and thank you for your message and your mission and helping people change their lives.
Well, thank you. How can I help?
So I'm 24. I'm single. I'm a college graduate. I graduated from a 4-year state school 3 years ago. I have a bachelor's degree, and I'm currently making $46,000 a year. Mm-hmm. I'm debt-free, so I'm on baby step 3.
Great.
I have a number of financial future goals, so I want to get a new car eventually, because right now I'm in a 2003 Beater that's 3 different colors. Mm-hmm. I want to own a home, but I don't necessarily know the cost I should expect. I want to travel fun, and eventually I want to raise my own kids. So my question is, how do I do the math now? How do I set my financial targets now to make sure that I'm on track to meet those goals? When I look at my savings to figure out how much to save and by when, and when I look at my salary, figuring out, what kind of salary do I need to aim towards each year? And basically figuring out, what do I need to do now to move towards hitting those goals?
Well, some of them are very clear, and you could put an exact dollar amount to, and then you just put a timeline on them. And then others are a little bit more vague. I want to have kids. That was a little more vague in terms of you can't, it's not an exact dollar amount we put on that. But when I want to buy a car, I want to move up in car, well, boom, you can do that, right? I mean, you can set that goal exactly. This is the car I want. This is how much it costs, and this is how much time it's going to save me to take me to save up the money to pay for the car. And so, I think the ones that you can make very, very clear, then you just have to prioritize them and say this one's first, this one's second, this one's third, and so on down the list. And that sets you up to to be able to chip away at the different ones. But, being financially independent as a goal, that's a little vague. You kind of have to say, okay, what does that mean? And how do I get there? And you kind of got to start backing into how much do I need to save to be, to have a nest egg to live off of, or what do I call independence? You got to have to kind of break it down that way. But I think you're way ahead of the game. Number one, you actually are smart enough to ask the question. Number two, you have you've already won in that you're debt-free and have your emergency fund in place. And then, so you're just way ahead of the game. You're going to do just fine. Don't fret. Don't fret. But be smart and begin to lay those goals out. You won't hit them if you don't set them, so you're smart to lay that out. But I think you just decide which one's first, which one's second, which one's third, and or are we going to do a couple of them simultaneously, work towards them simultaneously, and you'll be just fine doing that. So very cool. Very, very, very well done. Love it. Robin is next. Robin's in Nashville. Hi, Robin. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
So my husband and I are currently in baby step 2. We're paying off student loan debt. We decided a few years ago that he should go back and get his master's degree before we started listening to you, and went into a ton of debt to go to Vanderbilt. And anyway, I am also a runner, to keep my story sort of short. I'm a long-distance runner. I just ran the Boston Marathon in April, so you're my number one running partner. So listening to your podcast while I run, I was inspired to start my own business.
Good for you.
I have 5 kids. Yes.
Hello?
So we have 5 kids.
Uh-huh.
And so I don't have a ton of time. My oldest is 10 and my youngest is 1. I don't have a lot of time to be out working with people. But since I'm a runner, and that's what most people come to me for advice, is for running, I decided to get certified to be a running coach. But I would like to start an online sort of running coach business. And so I got certified. I have a website that I'm trying to build. I'm just kind of stuck as to what the best steps would be for me to do from here.
Okay. Well, you have to have an offering. You have to have what it is you're going to offer. And that is the coaching via the website, digital coaching and support and accountability and systems that they can get from you that they don't get maybe other places, or encouragement they get from you that they don't get from other places. So what is it that you're offering? Why would someone come there? And what do they get when they do come there? Once you've got that figured out, then you've got to get people to come there to the site. And to know that you're there. And the good news is that, as you know, runners are very cultish. They are hardcore tribes, and they run in herds. And so the book I would pick up if I were you is Tribes by Seth Godin.
Okay.
And what it talks about is marketing using tribes. And that we all are members of different tribes. And you're a tribe at your church. You're a tribe, you run with, you may have 2 or 3 little sub-tribes within the running community that you're part of. I run with this group, I run with that group. I got a group at the Y, I got a group associated with the store over here, or whatever, that kind of a thing.
Right.
And so, and then you plug into that tribe and begin to let them know, and then they will let other people know in other tribes that they're in, that you're there. And it spreads from tribe to tribe to tribe, and so, if you're Financial Peace University in a Baptist church, well, other Baptists will start to learn about that, right? And that's a sub-tribe within Christianity, so to speak. But from a marketing perspective, that's how you would view it. And it's a really good way to just spread word of mouth very intentionally, very thoughtfully, to continue to grow your business. And so that I would read everything I could get my hands on with Seth Godin, but certainly that's a good book to get started and to kind of give you some ways of thinking about how to activate people that have common beliefs and common goals. And pull them in together. And that's how you do it. So, good question. Thank you for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Kylie says on Facebook, I keep seeing things about the President's Mortgage Relief Program. Is it real? or is it a good thing? It's non-existent. There's no such thing. That is a scam that you're seeing, that people are running around Facebook, and they're acting like they're doing something different, and all it is a mortgage company that's just trying to get business. The President's Mortgage Relief Program, there's no such thing. Okay, when the economy crashed, there were a couple of things that the president did to put some relief out there. Some different kinds of loan modifications and that kind of stuff, but that stuff's all gone. There's no one's doing any of that stuff. There's no need in this current marketplace for that. So it's bogus. Just ignore it. There's no such thing. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, I'm Rachel Cruz. I love social media as much as anyone else, but not everything we see on our feeds is reality. We see a happy couple with their new truck or the perfect family photo. But what we don't see is what it took to get there. And if we take a step back and look at the bigger picture, we see the huge payment, the large pile of bills, and the stress on their marriage. And the truth is, as a culture, we've made a habit of comparing our lives to others. And what's worse is we spend money we don't have just to keep up with everyone else. In my new book, Love Your Life, Not Theirs, I shine a spotlight on one of the most damaging money habits that we have, comparing ourselves to others. When you quit the comparisons and reframe the way you think about money, your money habits start to change. You start developing the right habits for a meaningful life. In this book, I'll walk you through habits like making a plan for your money, steering clear of debt, talking about money even when it's hard, and saving for the future. These habits work, and when they take hold, you can have the things you want, go where you want to go, do the things you want to do, and you can do it without the debt, stress, and worry that used to weigh you down. But it won't happen by accident. It's time to get intentional with your money. So stop comparing and start living. It's time to live the life you want. It's time to love your life, not theirs.
Corporate America has done this for years. They're all about hiring talent. So-and-so's bright. So-and-so's got talent. Never mind the fact that they have no integrity. Never mind the fact that they're scummy. Never mind the fact that they cheat, lie, steal. Never mind that. They're talented. And that's bogus. And besides that, do they fit with you? You're going to spend time with them. With you. Are they connected with you? It's 5 people. You're going to see them a lot. Now, Rachel says, I don't see her a lot. That's true. She's in the top floor, I'm in the bottom floor, and that kind of a thing. But we're a little bit bigger now. But when you start, especially the ones that are going to work real closely with you, ask yourself the question. It is a valid question. Let me give you permission to ask the question, do you like them? Do I like you? Ask yourself that question when you're sitting there. Yeah, they're talented, but something kind of weird. Don't do that. That bell's ringing. Answer the bell. Okay? That's a no. That's what that is.
With other companies, I always felt I was not kept in the loop. So coming to the final day at signing, I wasn't sure exactly what was going on. I just knew I had to sign a bunch of papers. But with Churchill Mortgage, I knew exactly what was expected of me and what was going to happen. There was no surprises.
Call Churchill Mortgage today or visit us online to discover why we're the only mortgage company Dave Ramsey has ever endorsed.
Okay, folks, I want to remind you that we are giving away money at DaveRamsey.com. That's right, I'll say it again. We're giving away money. Very, very simple for you to get a chance to win. Just go to DaveRamsey.com. Right there at the top of the homepage. You can't miss it. You can enter every day. That's right. Once a day you can enter, and we're giving away money. And why wouldn't you want to take a chance at that? It can help you get further along in those baby steps or do something special. So, DaveRamsey.com, enter to win.
Are you ready to start living the life that you want instead of chasing someone else's dream? Well, my daughter Rachel Cruz has a new book coming out called Love Your Life, Not Theirs. It brings a fresh, new perspective on taking control of your money by following 7 money habits so you can live the life you want. Rachel's book is Your Money Reality Check. It works. You can pre-order the book. It comes out October the 3rd. Why would you pre-order? Because we're going to bribe you. We're going to give you $70 worth of free items to do it. Pretty cool stuff. Love Your Life, Not Theirs. Ebook is going to be thrown in if you pre-order it. We're going to throw in the Love Your Life, Not Theirs digital audio book. You'll get those and the hardback book October 3rd. All for $20. Right now, when you buy it for $20, we will send you the ebook of the #1 New York Times best-selling book that I wrote with Rachel called Smart Money, Smart Kids, and Rachel's Smart Conference video as well. And you're going to love this stuff. It's going to change everything. $20, and you get $70 worth of bonus items for the Love Your Life, Not Theirs book that is coming out. You can order it at rachelcruz.com, and you can order it at daveramsey.com. If you order the book anywhere else, pre-order it. Just let us know. Give us proof of purchase, and we'll still give you the $70 worth of stuff by coming to rachelcruz.com or get in touch with our customer care team at 888-22-PEACE, 888-227-3223. Elizabeth is with us in El Paso, Texas. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing all right. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Good. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
Okay, my husband is active duty Army. He's been in for about 9.5 years now. And in that time, we've seen our family only about a handful of times. So when he goes to reenlist at the end of this year, we'd like to take the option of moving closer to family. The problem is that we stupidly bought a house just last August with a zero-down VA loan, so we'd take a big hit on trying to sell it with the closing costs. We should have that money come tax refund time that we had planned to finish paying off our final debt with, and I had talked with an ELP who really encourages us to rent it out, but we'd really rather sell it and take the hit if we're able to just to get out of it. So we're wondering what
I would sell it.
Okay.
And take the hit. And the hit's called stupid tax.
It is the big stupid tax.
I know. I recognize it because I've done it too. Oh, it's so painful to do stuff like that costs you money. I'm sorry.
It is.
And
but
you don't need that house hanging around your neck if you're moving to a different city. It is that simple.
Yeah, no, definitely not, because we'd be about 2,000 miles away, and I honestly wouldn't want to be 200 miles away, managing a house.
Yeah, I hear you. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So you're exactly on track. I would do what you're talking about, and that would be my game plan. And probably going to be working as like crazy people try to do both, get out of debt and have the money to get rid of the house.
Oh, definitely, yes.
So
the upside is if we do get the duty station we want to go, all of our family's right there, and we would be hopefully trying to stay with family for the first little bit that we're there, so we can maybe try and find a place. So we would be having that extra money to pay off and go gazelle intense as we can.
Very cool.
On the rest of our debt.
Yeah, that'll be great. Well, thank you for your service. We appreciate that. And, you're right on track. That's exactly what I would do. New York is next. Sylvia's on the line. Hi, Sylvia. How are you?
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I think I have another stupid tax question.
Uh-oh.
Well, we've been on your plan for almost 2 years. We've paid off $40,000, and we still have a lot of debt. And our lease is ending this December. It was a 4-year lease. And my husband and I disagree on what to do with it. He thinks that we should keep it and finance it because we're going to get a lot of fees when the inspection comes.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's also a DJ, so he makes extra money on the side by DJing, so he needs that truck to carry all his equipment. So I think that we should just return it and stop that snowball for 4 months and save as much as we can and buy, a secondhand car.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to know,
a secondhand truck. So what is this? What's the buyout at the end of the lease on the truck?
It's $13,225.
Okay. And what's the truck going to be worth? Do you have any idea?
No, I do not know. I mean, it's a 2013 truck.
Okay. Well, let's pretend that the buyout price is $13,200 and the truck's worth $10,000. You would never buy the truck. That would be stupid.
Okay.
Right? But let's pretend the truck's worth $15,000 and the buyout is $13,000. Well, it might be smart to buy it and turn around and sell it for a profit.
That's what he was saying, too.
So we need to compare the value of the truck to the $13,000.
I see.
And are you over on your miles?
No, we're under, but it has a lot of scratches and a few dents.
Yeah, well, you're gonna get hit for all of that. That's gonna be a couple $1,000. So
right, that's what he says. Because he sells cars for a living. So when we leased the car, it was according to him, we didn't have to give a down payment, and it was he said it was a good deal.
It was a stupid idea. Okay, and now you're finding out how stupid it was. When you try to get out of it, you're going to get hit one way or the other. So, so I think you're going to have to write some checks here either way, and you just need to decide what that is. And that just be logical about it. Okay, I need a truck to carry my stuff around is not a reason to buy this truck. If this truck is not a good deal. And so you look at what the fees are if you turn it in and how much that costs you, or you look at if you keep it, how much it costs you. And but it sounds like you probably need to turn it in and do what you're saying and buy a used truck with cash.
Right.
That's it, but I don't know what the truck's worth. And you don't either. So that's what you got to figure out. And you can look at that and go, right today it's worth X, and so by December it's going to be worth right around X. And that begins to tell you what it is. But don't pay $13,000 for a truck that's worth $9,000. I mean, that would just be ludicrous. That just adds, to the pile of stupid is what it does. All right, Chris is with us in Atlanta, Georgia. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Doing good. How about yourself, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I have a refinance question. Currently, I have a 30-year fix at 3.5%, which I understand is a great interest rate.
It is.
I'm currently looking into entertaining a refinance potentially to a 15-year, but I'm not sure if it's advantageous for me. My mortgage is my only debt that me and my wife have, and we have the 3-month savings, and we have an additional $40,000 that we have saved up to this point. It's not doing anything for us. It's just in a savings account.
Yeah, you don't need to refinance to change from a 30 to a 15. The only reason you would refinance is if you could get a better interest rate.
And I've spoken with some individual mortgage brokers, and there's a potential to get a 2.65 at a 15.
Yeah, I think you probably talk to Churchill Mortgage and find something like that. I'm seeing 2.6s, 2.7s, 2.8s floating around on 15 years. And so, then you look at what's your loan balance?
It is $128.
Okay, and so every 1% you save would be $1,200. You're not going to quite save 1%, so maybe $1,000 or so is what you're going to be saving a year in interest if you went from 3.5 to 2.7, right? And then you look at that and say, divide your closing costs by $1,000 basically, and say, how long is it going to take me to break even having refinanced, and am I going to keep the house that long? And if you are, then it makes sense to do it. And I would go that way. So, I would refinance it in that case. If you're going to keep the house long enough to recoup your closing costs and you can get that rate, that's a great rate. that does make sense. And while you're at it, you get the 15-year. But don't do it just to get the 15-year. Do it because of the interest saved. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
We really decided to get Gazelle Intense. We were listening to your show. And then next thing you know, we went from a few grand, and then we were setting goals. We were like, all right, this month, we're going to throw 13,000 at it this month. And we just had no idea how real the debt snowball was.
And then I got pregnant, and he was born in May 2015. So we said by the end of 2015, we're going to have it paid off. And it didn't look possible, but it actually happened.
We attack them together. We work out together. We're on the same page as far as grocery shopping. Even we incorporate Elijah in a lot of our workouts together. We don't make any excuses to why we can't reach our goals from a physical standpoint. And I think that's really what allows us to transfer that over to the financial side. On our phones, in our cars, every road trip, every time we went to the grocery store, and even when we're at home, we were listening to Dave Ramsey. Elijah knew the phrase, you live like no one else, so one day you can live and give like no one else.
I can remember planning to fly to Nashville and do the debt-free scream.
She said, hey, I have a surprise for you. Do you know what it is? And I said, I don't know what it is. And so we get to the airport, and I see on the big screen, Nashville. And I'm like, Dave Ramsey? And she's like, yeah.
It's a
see my shirt?
What's this say? I can't see the bottom.
It says, Dave is my homeboy.
Oh, I love it.
We don't have an example, and most of our age group and friends, like, we are the example.
All of our friends have made fun of us, try to test our toughness. When you can endure that, they'll then come to you and ask for help.
My name's Megan Lucan, and I'm from El Segundo, California. I met Jason and Stephanie straight out of college. I moved out to California to fulfill an internship based on my career, and I was riding in the car with Jason and Stephanie one day, and they were listening to Dave on the podcast, and together they started talking about their vision and where they wanted to see the direction of their life, and that aligned with my vision too. So I got into the program, and accountability is key. Jason and I are both personal trainers, and Stephanie takes fitness very seriously as well. And we find that when we coach our clients, they come to us to have an accountability partner. And that's what we found with Dave, with the program, as well as with each other. We got to do our debt-free screams on the same day. God blessed me by putting me with Jason and Stephanie. I think my parents planted that seed, and Jason and Stephanie helped it grow.
Yeah.
It's been phenomenal.
Wow, you're awesome. I love it, Megan.
We want to continue that legacy with people who we're around, with people who we encounter. So my dad gave me the book and tells me how before he took out loans for school or whatever, what have you, and he's able to see how it's working in my life. And so for Christmas this year, I thought it'd be great to repay him and giving him the Chris Hogan Retire Inspired book. And he was like, thanks, this is the best gift that someone could give me. And I thought that was great.
Well, hey guys, thank you for making a trip all the way out here. We're honored, and beautiful baby. He's awesome. He's grinning and happy, and look at him. He's having, life is good. He's a ham.
When we went on the show, Elijah was 8 months, and now Elijah is 21 months. And Elijah will remember this forever.
Being able to change the family tree and make our son's life even better than ours and then our parents is the coolest thing ever. I want our son to have more deeper values other than material things. I want him to know how he got his stuff, not just it was given to him.
The aspect of working out, working hard, it all starts with a plan. You want to become financially fit, it starts with a plan. Debt free and loving it.
Free.
One of the most overlooked priorities in a family's financial plan is life insurance. Having it and having the right amount are crucial. If you died, how would your family pay the bills, put food on the table, and plan for the future? Term life insurance is protection for the ones you love. It's not complicated and it's not expensive. People need to deal with this, which is why I found a company I trust and I do business with, Xander. Please take the time to take care of your family.
Oh, hey, everybody. Sorry, I was just checking the servers here in the control room, making sure everything's running right. Every once in a while, James needs me to check the cords and make sure that everything's running smoothly. I do many, many things around here. James, everything seems to be plugged in well over there. No, I'm actually terrified. I kid. I hope nobody out there actually thinks I'm serious right now. Hey, but I'll tell you what I am serious about coming up the next hour, Kelly. We've got the Millionaire Themed Hour. If nobody has ever heard of that or seen that hour, 30 seconds, how would you describe that?
It is extremely inspirational. These are everyday people not making huge amounts of money that have saved, and now they are millionaires, and they are the millionaire next door.
All right, so how many people we have lined up, do you know?
We have 5 for the hour.
Oh, my. So it's going to be just jam-packed. You don't want to miss that. So stay tuned for the next hour. And we have a debt-free scream coming up a little bit later this hour as well.
Thanks for joining us, America. The sun is great when you're at the pool or at the lake, but it's not great in your living room. You need to control the heat, the glare, the UV rays with brand new roller and solar shades from Blinds.com. You can do that now through August 31st. If you buy 3 blinds, you get the 4th one free with the Ramsey promo code magic word. Ramsey. Use the promo code Ramsey. Blinds.com, promo code Ramsey. Today's question's from Levi in Minnesota. I'm starting college this fall, but I have some financial issues. My parents don't have the money to pay for my school, and they won't co-sign a student loan for me. What are my options? Well, I think that means you're like going in 2 weeks, so you don't have an option. I don't guess. Oh, I guess you could go get into debt. I'm not going to tell you to get it. I'm going to tell you not to get student loans. I would delay starting school until you can work and save for your first semester. And you should be able to do that by January. But just put off your start time. Don't start in August. Here we are in August. I would start in January and work. What? Yeah. I mean, you give me 2 weeks to get the money together for college. You just, you can't do that. You're going to get yourself into a mess, and you're going to end up with $50,000 in student loan debt because you haven't planned and you haven't thought. And so, you got a financial issue, all right. So I would lay out very clearly, very carefully, exactly what it costs to go to school, and I'd get my butt and gear working to pay for it. And choose a school that you can afford to go to, in-state tuition, and make some decisions to not just be out, otherwise you're just going to be normal, Levi, and you don't want to do that. Normal's broke. Normal's deep in student loan debt. You hear all this stuff on the news. We have a student loan crisis because people don't think. And that's what you have to break. You have to break that cycle. Sergio is with us in Fresno. Hi, Sergio. How are you?
Better than I deserve, Dave.
Good. How can I help?
Hey, I got a question. We got a property that we bought here a couple of years back, probably in the 2011-ish, and we bought it with intentions of just kind of using it as an investment. We didn't like the idea of just giving money out for rent, and we had the opportunity to buy a property at the time, so we bought it. And now we got about 125 in equity, and we bumped into a property that we would like to say that is our dream home. but we don't necessarily know if it's wise to jump ship and jump onto that new property, or if we should just buckle down and pay this one down.
So you're talking about selling that one and buying the next one, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And you put $125,000 down.
Everything down plus a little bit that we might have saved.
Mm-hmm. And how much is the dream house?
So right now it's probably going to go for about 4.25.
Okay. And so you're going to have a loan of just south of $300,000.
Right.
If this deal works out. Okay. And can you afford that loan?
That's one of our questions to you. We've been really blessed right now with the property that we own right now. We like to think that, you know, the bill comes in and we don't even really worry about that bill.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, if we have a $300,000 mortgage, and let's say we had that at 2.875, which you could probably get on a 15-year right now. Okay. And you know, I'm just going to stick this in the calculator. Your payment would be like $2,100 plus taxes and insurance. And what's your take-home pay?
Take-home pay is somewhere around $6,400.
Okay, well, you're pretty close then. I mean, we tell you to have a payment on a 15-year fixed that's no more than about a fourth of your take-home pay. This is going to be a little bit more than that. This is going to be about 30% of your take-home pay. Right. But it's not. It's not like yelling at you stupid. It's just going to be. It's going to be a lot tighter than where you are.
I know, and that's one of the things that, you know, we've been discussing, me and my wife and I, is it puts the playing field scenario for us a lot different than what we're accustomed to and what we've been used to in the past.
And does that turn the dream? Does that turn the dream home into a nightmare? That's the question.
Well, that's why I hear it from you all the time. You know, you want it to be a dream home, not a cursed home. So
exactly. So I think that's a balance thing. You guys just have to talk about. This is it's pushing the edge. It's a little over the edge, but it's not far enough over the edge that you just have to go, no, you're stupid if you do it. But it's close.
Okay.
So I mean, you really are going to change your life when you do this, and things are going to be really tight, and you're going to have to really watch what you're doing. And really, we're counting on your income going up over the next couple of years.
That's where we're at. I mean, I've been getting raises here just about every year, and I'm real grateful for that. And my wife is a nurse. She's going to be graduating here in the next year or two. And her income will definitely also come up here in the next 2 years. I think in the next
you'll be fine then. At that point, everything will loosen up a lot again. So you're probably heading the right direction. And again, it's not like you're going to be at 40% or something like that. But this is it's a lot. It's a lot. So it's okay if you don't do it, and it's questionable if you do. I probably would wait if I were in your shoes. I'm probably going to wait until your income comes up, and then you do something different. There's a house on every corner. There's dream houses everywhere. They're everywhere. And so, you just got to, I'm going to take my time. I'd rather be the tortoise than the hare. And so I'm always going to slow down, be more conservative, and not get myself into a pinch. And so that's probably my advice in this case. But it's on the bubble, Sergio, legitimately. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Michael is in Chicago. Hey, Michael, how are you?
I'm well. I'm good. I got a different kind of money question.
Okay.
Get your thoughts.
All right.
If someone finds and kind of goes out of their way and do what they have to do to find the owner of a large amount of money, how do you feel about a reward or a thank you, or what, like a human agreement on what should be done when you return a decent amount of money to somebody?
Well, there's no obligation on the person that is receiving their money back to give a reward. There's no moral obligation. I mean, it's just simply not yours, it's theirs. But most people are so grateful that they're like, you're kidding, this is awesome. Yeah, here, let me at least say thank you, and they usually do that. Like you said, it's a human reaction most of the time, but there's certainly not an ethical or moral obligation. I mean, it's their money. It wasn't yours, so to speak. If you were the one returning it, or if I'm the one returning it, it's not my money. If it's your money, I found it and I figured out it's yours and I give it back to you. You're not obligated to do that, but it is kind of a normal reaction to have gratitude. How much money?
$2,000.
$2,000. And where'd you find it?
This was found in an envelope in a bank parking lot. So it was as simple as going back into the bank with the envelope, and they were able to track who had withdrawn that amount of money and put me in contact with them.
Wow. Yeah. And the person just said thank you and didn't offer anything?
We're grateful. It was great exchange money. And it was great.
Well, you certainly did the right thing. That's very cool on your part. Very well done. I probably, if you'd have found $2,000 of mine, I'd have probably said thank you and might have handed you $100 or something, but I don't know. I might have been so shocked I didn't know what to do. I might have forgot to do it, just because you're just kind of taken aback. Wow. Well, that's cool that you did that, brother. Hey, this is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Hogan. Listen, I've had the opportunity to be on stage all around the country talking about you and your retirement dreams. And it's amazed me. At these events, I'm seeing people from 19 to 80 sitting out in the audience, all hearing my message about chasing your dreams. And listen to me, the movement has truly blown up. People have come up to me with extra questions after the event. And what it told me is that people needed more information. They wanted to continue the conversation. Well, guess what? Here I am. People think retirement is a boring subject. Feel free to tell them about me, because I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to bring passion and excitement to everything that we do. So what can you expect from the podcast when you listen? I'm always going to give you a 3-point action-ready takeaway. You know why? Because action is where life happens. I'm even going to hear from the people, and that would be you, and take questions from social media or email. And sometimes I'm even going to go to the phones. Why? Because I want to hear from you. We're going to talk to guests, and I'm even going to do some story spotlights on real people that are having real success. So as you can see, we're going to bring you all kinds of variety. People, we are going to have fun on this podcast. So make sure you sign up. All right, everybody, it's time for me to get to work. Welcome to the Retire Inspired Podcast. I am your host, Chris Hogan. On
Are high healthcare costs getting you down?
Are you confused trying to navigate the health insurance world?
Do you wish you could find an affordable, biblical solution to your healthcare costs?
Based on New Testament principles, Christian Healthcare Ministries, or CHM, helps Christian families, churches, and businesses join together as the body of Christ to share their major healthcare costs.
As a CHM member, you can go to any doctor or hospital you prefer. You aren't bound by an approved healthcare provider list, and all treatment decisions are made between you and your doctor. No treatment approvals are ever part of the CHM experience.
For tens of thousands of Christians, CHM is a trusted, affordable, and biblical healthcare solution. And it can be the solution for you as well. Visit us online or call today to learn more about how we can serve your family, church, or business. Christian Healthcare Ministries, 1-800-791-6225.
chministries.org.
Your life is an adventure. Emotionally, you've just been through the ringer. You're not afraid of hard work, and you have no debt. Everything paid for. Very, very well done. You did the hard work, and you've done so good. You know when you've had it, that something has to happen inside of you. Slow and steady. Live on less than you make. Believe that it can happen. It does happen every day in America. You are the answer. God's blessings pouring to and through you are the answer. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, Michael and Melissa are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hi there.
Great, Dave.
Better than we deserve.
Welcome. Good to have you. Where are you from?
Iowa City.
Iowa City.
Iowa City. Made the drive down. Very, very cool. So how much debt have you paid off?
We paid off $29,000 and
$23,000.
$29,000 and $23,000.
About 52 separately.
Separately.
Yes.
Okay. So you're a dating couple.
We are. We're going to be married in January.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very fun. Okay. And so whose kids are these?
Ours.
We have a lot of kids. These are 3 of our 5. This is Marcia. She's 4. Charlie is 9. And Eric is 14.
All right. Very cool. All right. So 29 and 23, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, how long did the 29 take?
Well, we engaged on this together in parallel, so it took us 8 months altogether.
Oh, each of you did it at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, that works good.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. And, well, I'm going to break it apart then. And so, Michael, you had the 29 or the 23?
I had the 29.
And how long? And what was your income during the 8 months?
$190K.
Wow, okay. What do you do?
I'm an oncologist, a cancer doctor.
Oh, okay. Very cool. And Melissa paid off 23 in 8 months with what kind of an income?
72.
72. Excellent. And what do you do?
I'm a scientist. And one of those evil college professors that you rail against. But I teach something practical.
I'm not mad at college professors. I didn't call college professors evil. Oh, fun. Very fun. So what kind of debt were these?
We were very normal. We had just about one of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I owed the IRS money. I had a credit card. I had a line of credit.
Mm-hmm.
I had a car loan.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a student loan.
Student loan. Oh, Sally Mae had to kick her out. Very cool. So, obviously, you made plans to get married. That might have been part of the story. And what else prompted this 8 months ago?
Well, it was a college bill. So one of our daughters is not here, is in college and went to a very expensive school that I had not planned for well at all.
Mm-hmm.
We were visiting family and trying to relax, and this college bill came due.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on the phone during this vacation talking to the college, begging them to give me 10 more days to come up with $6,000.
Mm-hmm.
I was making too much money to be broke, but I was broke and I couldn't pay my bills.
Yeah.
So I was dating Melissa, who'd been listening to you for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you'd like this story. She was very crafty about it. She said, well, just you can do this. We're going to focus everything you have. We're going to stop paying into retirement. We're going to follow these simple rules and just get on. We can tackle this. Didn't mention Dave Ramsey. Didn't talk about the baby steps. I didn't make sense to me. I was like, it seems, you're a very smart lady, so I trust you. I'm going to go with you. And then a couple days later, I looked over visiting Melissa, and I saw this Dave Ramsey book sitting on the coffee table, and I said, what's this? And I picked it up and read it, and lo and behold, it was the blueprint that she had been very subtly getting to me. So I discovered it all by myself.
I learned the best way to get a man to do something is to let him think it was his idea.
So
I just left the book on the table.
I said, look, honey, look
you
at
are
this
sly.
guy.
I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
You're sly.
But I was really embarrassed because I had started listening to you when I was in grad school. I listened to you every day at 3 o'clock when you were on.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew car payments were bad and credit card was bad because that's what you were talking about 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then we revisited you and found your podcast, and now everybody was student loans.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, wait a second. I have a student loan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not listening to Dave Ramsey. And so we scorched the earth and did it.
Just knocked it out. Well, very cool. This sets you up to completely win with a new marriage. Excellent. Very fun. Well, congratulations, you two. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. Well, we're going to give you each your own copy, and you'll be able to give one away
Thank you.
of Chris Hogan's book, signed.
Thank you.
#1 bestseller, Retire Inspired. All about building wealth, because you're going to be able to do that. You're going to have this fabulous household income and no debt, and more than anything, you can work together now. You'll be able to do that. That's perfect. Well, congratulations, you two.
Thank you.
Very, very well done. Now, the 3 kids that are with you are what ages and names?
Marcia's 4, Charlie is 9, and Eric's 14.
Perfect. All right. And have they been practicing debt-free streaming?
Yeah, they're pretty sound engineers, want to brace themselves. They're pretty loud.
Just put on the special mics. Okay. I love it. Very cool. All right, Michael and Melissa, Eric, Charlie, and Marcia, let's count it down. $29,000 and $23,000, both paid off individually in 8 months, and now they're getting married in January, making $190 and making $72. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
You ready? 3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Well done, you two. Very well done. Great job. That's how we do it. Man, oh man. That's the way you do it, folks. It's exactly what the plan is. Man, love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Very well done. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. Michael is with us in New York. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing fine. Thank you. I wanted to ask you a question. I have a lease that's coming to its conclusion, and the car itself has little miles on it, not even close to the miles allocated. And but I was thinking about buying the car when I turn it in. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's a wise move? I know the car does have some damage, like you said, it'll probably worth a couple $1,000s here and there with all the scrapes and bumps and bruises and things. Mm-hmm. And I really just want to get this car payment kind of off my lap, if you will.
You got the cash to buy it?
Well, we do have our 6-month emergency fund, or like 5 or 6 month emergency fund, and I'd rather not use that. Mm-hmm. I do anticipate running into some funds at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. When is the lease up?
The lease is up. Currently, it's October. I could probably get an extension for 6 more months after that.
No, we don't want an extension. You want to just pay it. If you're going to buy it, buy it. Now, the trick is this. Just, you need to run the Blue Book on the car. Go to Kelley Blue Book and figure out what you could buy the car if you were buying it from an individual. What's the value of the car? And you wouldn't want to pay more than that for it.
Okay.
And, because, so what do you think? Do you know your buyout in October, what it'll be?
Yeah, I think it'll be roughly, give or take a little bit, about $20,000.
Okay. And what would be the book value on the car, the market value of the car?
I'd have to double check that. That I have not done.
But I mean, if it's $18,000, you wouldn't pay $20,000 for an $18,000 car.
That's true. That's true.
Because the miles would be reflected in the value. In other words,
that's true.
The fact that it's low miles or got dings on it, that puts it at fair value, low mile car, and so you can adjust your value when you're looking at that according to Kelley Blue Book or somebody else. Or use Edmunds, whatever it is. But let's figure out the value of the car. But if the car is worth $23,000 and you can buy it for $20,000, yeah, let's buy it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Because I really didn't want to take up another lease. And
No. Worst way to operate a car. Most expensive way to deal with a car is a car lease, according to Consumer Reports and my calculator. It gets you so many different ways. But no, pay cash for it and buy it. If it's worth equal to or greater than $20,000, which is your buyout, and that's gonna make economic sense. Otherwise, you take your money and go buy a different car and get a better deal. That would be the way to go at it. Hey, man, thanks for the call. Open phones at 888-825-5225. What should someone do if they're on baby step 2, but they need important dental work done? Well, I don't know, Shell, how you define important dental work. If my tooth is hurting, that would be called an emergency. If I think that cosmetic dental work is important, then that would be more of a luxury that you would do after you're out of debt, and you'd pay cash for it. And so, anything that's involving a medical need or a pain issue, those are emergencies. Cosmetics are not. And so I don't know what you're calling important, but you can decide that, I guess, based on that. Thanks for following us on Facebook. This is The Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, it's Rachel Cruz. When you think about the clever marketing campaigns that credit card companies use, you're probably thinking that they want parents to sign up for debt. Unfortunately, they have more than adults in mind. They've started using something called kiddie branding. I know it seems ridiculous that Visa would spend millions of dollars marketing its product to little kids. But have you seen the Game of Life recently? It has Visa branded all over it. And it fits perfectly with their Life Takes Visa marketing message, doesn't it? Even Monopoly is offering a credit card version. Credit card companies invest so much because in 10 years, when your little ones are all grown up and in college, credit card companies will be knocking on their doors. They hope that your child remembers that life takes Visa. Teach your children to recognize these false messages so that when they're older, they won't fall for them. Hey, would love to keep in touch with you guys, so you can follow me on Twitter at Rachel Cruz, or you can go to my website, rachelcruz.com.
That we had taken this course 50 years ago, and we wonder where we would be if we had.
It's helped our communication and our marriage and just being on the same page with our budget.
When we give God our tithes, He blesses other people with it.
We're debt-free!
Well, now we talk and communicate instead of crying.
I never cried.
I did.
How about this? We're debt-free in Jesus' name. Come on, somebody.
We're able to give more, and that's the most important part.
And it's bringing me additional hope in my life.
It really has focused us on managing our money instead of letting our money manage us.
My name is Jill Brickman, and I live in Louisville, Kentucky. I took the foundations class for Dave Ramsey when I was a senior in high school, and looking at colleges and trying to figure out what I wanted to major in and where I wanted to go. And it really helped encourage me and really helped teach me about really what debt is and why I don't want to tack that onto myself in the long run. When taking the class, I didn't just sit there and fill in the blanks and watch the videos and then go on and forget everything that I had learned, but I actually had to implement it. So I was able to work at a preschool and nanny and babysit my way through college. And I made some sacrifices of, some nights a week I was able to stay out really late and hang out, and some nights I had to go to bed early so I could get up and go to work in the morning. Rather than go to the really expensive private schools, I ended up living at home and going to the local community college instead, which was not what I wanted to do at all. And it ended up working out very, very nicely of just being the perfect place for me to be. And during that time at the community college, I ended up earning 2 associate's degrees. I transferred to the University of Louisville, which is the local university, and just absolutely loved my time here. I ended up working as a student missionary through the North American Mission Board to the University of Louisville. And it was just great being able to work and do school and just live life. I was able to have a great relationship with my parents and maintain that, partially just because we don't have that burden or that extra burden of debt and loans. At the end of it, I was nominated by my professors as one of 4 outstanding undergraduate students in my major and graduated on time with honors. And so I'm able to wait patiently and just keep working how I have been while waiting for the right job to come along, because I don't have that threat or the hanging cloud of student loans hanging over my head.
If you're happy with your timeshare and you're utilizing your timeshare, and it's working, hold on to it. But we want you to know that you're not stuck. There is a way out. We're not a listing company. We don't buy nor do we sell timeshares. We are a consumer protection group that specializes in getting people out of their timeshare contracts, and we give a 100% money-back guarantee, period.
We will assess your situation, we'll assign you a client manager, and then they'll hold your hand throughout the whole process, and they will assure that you get written confirmation from the resort that you're out of your timeshare contract. It's really a huge responsibility for us to have our customer service at the highest level, and I believe we do that.
I wanted to exit my timeshare because we had invested more than $40,000 into the timeshare, and we realized that it was a bad investment. I was very happy with the service that I did receive from the timeshare exit team. They were able to put mine and my husband's minds at ease, knowing that they were going to take care of everything and that this bad investment was never going to be passed to our children.
To learn more, call today.
Hey folks, welcome back. About ready to kick off another hour of the Dave Ramsey Show, and this hour happens to be our millionaire themed hour. So many of you are sitting there honestly and you're going, I can't even process the idea of being a millionaire. I'm just trying to get to baby step 2 or 3 or get through all of them. But what is inspiring about these stories that you'll hear during this hour is that they're real people like you and me, and they have followed the process. They've done what they needed to do, and now they're millionaires, and you can do it too. So as you're listening to these stories, don't get overwhelmed by where they finished. Be inspired by how they started and the process that they took to get where they're at now. And I think this will absolutely encourage you. So sit back and enjoy one more hour of the Dave Ramsey Show, the Millionaire Themed Hour, which starts right now.
Sacrifice, determination.
You can be intentional about your character, your work ethic.
You've got to be on the same page.
Today we're calling to let you know we are debt-free, house and everything.
You have done really, really, really good. And you're not going to quit now.
It's been a huge witness for us to be able to share that.
It was time to get serious.
Intentionality, people. Celebrate the success.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live it. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. You jump in, we'll talk about your life and your money. It's a free call at 888-825-5225. Well, the political season has brought out the people hating the wealthy again. Bernie Sanders has been all about redistributing wealth, and he just closed on a $600,000 beach house as a second home this week, which there's nothing wrong with that. I have a lake house that's worth more than that, but I'm not out preaching wealth equality. Oh, my goodness, we're hypocritical, aren't we? Burn. Not feeling you. Not feeling the burn. Okay, anyway, so have you heard that all wealthy people, that the way they get to be wealthy is that they inherited their wealth? Did you know that that's mythology? 9 out of 10 of America's millionaires are first-generation rich. Have you heard that all the wealthy people, the way they got wealthy is they're crooks? They stole all the money. Or the only way to be wealthy is to be a famous actor or a famous music star or a famous athlete. Or you have to be brilliant. You have to have like a 4.2 GPA. All of this is mythology. I've worked with the wealthy for 30 years. I am now wealthy. And the second time, I'm so dumb I had to do it twice. So we're going to do a millionaire theme hour right now. And a millionaire theme hour is this. If you are a millionaire, and let me help you with it, what a millionaire is in case you didn't know, because some people like running for office and stuff are stupid and they don't know the actual definition of a millionaire. A millionaire is someone with a $1 million or greater net worth. Your net worth is defined as an accounting function. It's what you own minus what you owe. It's what you own minus what you owe. Your assets minus your liabilities. If that equals $1 million, then you're a millionaire. Now, you may not feel like a millionaire these days. It doesn't buy as much as it used to, but it buys more than not having $1 million buys. And so how do you get to be a millionaire? Well, we're going to talk to millionaires this hour. If you are a millionaire, call me at 888-825-5225. We've lined up a couple to make sure we've got enough people to talk to, but 888-825-5225. And I want to interview them and let you hear what it takes to be a millionaire. Because if you learn what these folks have done and then you go do what they have done, you have a higher probability of being a millionaire than listening to your broke brother-in-law who has an opinion about wealth inequality. This is how you do it. If you want to be skinny, you talk to skinny people. If you want to be wealthy, you talk to wealthy people. So I'm going to interview them and ask them a series of questions so that you can find out that they're regular folks, that they aren't crooks, and that in most cases, they did not inherit their wealth. If they did, that's fine. We'll mark that down too, but we're going to find out the real story with real millionaires, not someone with a political agenda, not someone with an axe to grind. Steve's going to start us off in San Jose, California. Hey, Steve, how are you?
Great, Dave. How are you doing?
I am better than I deserve, man. So what is your net worth?
Right now, we're at $2.8 million.
2.8. And what is that composed of? What are the major components of your net worth?
It's 30% real estate, 65% mutual funds, and then we have about 5% in cash.
Okay. So real estate and mutual funds. And that includes your home, I assume, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Mutual funds like 401ks and that kind of stuff, or what else?
Yeah, 401ks, IRAs.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm just turned 60, and my wife is 57.
Okay. All right, cool. And how much of this money did you inherit?
Well, about 22 years ago, I think my wife inherited $50,000 when a relative passed away.
Okay.
And that's the extent of it.
So virtually none of it. All right. Out of $2.8 million.
Right.
And what has your average working income been through your working lifetime?
Well, we started a little under $30,000 many years ago, 30 years ago, and then the last couple of years, my wife and I had some increases, and so when I retired, we were both together making about $300,000.
Okay.
So maybe a little bit over $100,000, I would say, over that 30-year period.
Right. And what was your careers?
I was an engineer for 32 years, and my wife will be retiring if everything goes well at the end of this year, and she's will be retiring as a chief of staff for a health insurance company.
Okay. All right. And you have, I assume, an engineering degree?
That's correct. I have an engineering degree, and my wife and I both have MBAs.
Okay. All right. And what were your GPAs?
My GPA through engineering was about a 3.4, and then through business school was about 3.9. My wife went through, I'd say her GPA was probably a little higher than mine, probably maybe 3.5, 3.6 through her business, through her for the business degree.
Mm-hmm. And how much of the $2.8 million is the result of you borrowing money to build wealth?
Borrowing money to build wealth? None.
You didn't use debt to build the wealth? Okay.
No, we did not.
Okay, cool. And very cool. So what part has giving played in your financial plan?
Well, over the years, my wife and I have given to our church and to certain charitable organizations. More recently, we're helping finance the educations of a couple of one of our relatives' kids, and we're going to be doing that for another relative. Our kids are 22 and 26, and they're on their own. So we help them with their educations, and so now we're kind of turning to help other members of our family who we think could use the help.
Yeah. What's the most expensive pair of jeans you've ever bought?
Oh my gosh, I don't know, probably about $20, $25.
Okay, all right, cool.
My wife and I have, tell you, I'm lucky, Dave, because I picked the right spouse. We actually both picked the right spouse. I think we're kind of low maintenance people.
Yeah.
We've never been into fancy cars or boats or swimming pools. We have a really nice home, but
the 25-year-old version of you is out there listening. What advice would you give him if he wants to be worth $2.8 million when he's 60?
Well, one thing I would tell him right off the bat is avoid getting into debt, because if you don't get into debt, you never have to work your way out of it. The second thing is to prepare a monthly budget and stick to it. We've stuck to our monthly budget for 32 years. My wife and I have worked very, very hard. We've taken every advantage we could, working in our respective fields, and also start saving and investing early. Those are the 4 things, Dave, I would suggest.
Very cool. Well, Steve, you're a hero, man. Honored to talk to you. You're a capitalist. You made it happen. $2.8 million net worth. Congratulations. This is the Dave Ramsey Show on a Millionaire Theme Hour. Every year, as summer comes to a close, we observe something about the way people behave in our culture. And I thought it'd be helpful for me to share that with you so that you could do it not just accidentally, but intentionally. What we see is, as we go through August and head towards Labor Day, kids go back to school, summer vacations are over, the days get shorter, and we human beings tend to want to re-engage in things about self-improvement. People tend to go back to the gym. They tend to start attending church more regularly and giving in the fall. And guess what? They want to get control of their money. So we see a huge spike with our stuff in August, September, October. We call it the second New Year because you have a New Year's resolution in the second part of the year to restart your life, to get serious and get intentional about an area of your life that matters. Since I told you that this is happening, all I wanted you to do was say, I'm going to do this intentionally. I'm going to make a decision as I restart this last section of the year to engage areas of my life that I need to work on. I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to get out of debt. I'm going to get on a budget. I'm going to start my emergency fund. I'm going to walk through the baby steps. I'm going to get in Financial Peace University. I'm not going to miss a Dave Ramsey podcast. Whatever it is, I don't care. But intentionally re-engage some information and some inspiration in the key areas of your life. Be intentional about doing that so that you can take advantage of this natural ebb and flow of our lives in this culture. So increase your generosity, increase your intensity about getting out of debt, have a garage sale, take an extra job for the fall to get out of debt. Whatever it is you're going to do, whatever it is you're working on, pile on, make it happen for yourself. This is the time to do it. So take advantage of the natural ebb and flow, the tide of our lives, because really this is a time of year the tide comes in again. And it's time to eat. It's time to get stuff done. It's time to make things happen. So really pile on, really be intentional, and this is the time to get out of debt. This is the time to reset your budget. This is the time to communicate with your spouse like never before. Be very, very intentional about this swing that happens as summer comes to a close. I literally started my business on a card table in my living room. In those days, I was the one responsible for keeping track of my expenses. And if I wanted my family to eat, I had to make sure the money was coming in. I was a true entrepreneur. Nowadays, I know there's a better way. It's called FreshBooks, and I'm a big fan of what they do. FreshBooks is an online software and mobile app that allows you to track your time, capture expenses, and create professional invoices. It's easy and it works. Find out what over 5 million entrepreneurs and small business owners just like you have already discovered. You can try it free today at getfreshbooks.com. Just enter the Dave Ramsey Show under How Did You Hear About Us for your free 30-day trial. That's getfreshbooks.com. And remember, enter the Dave Ramsey Show to get started today. It's a millionaire theme hour. We're talking to real millionaires, not mythical ones, and finding out what they did and how they did it. If you're a millionaire, it's not because you make $1 million a year. It's because your net worth is $1 million or greater. What you own minus what you owe. Jonathan is with us in Tucson. Hey, Jonathan, how are you?
Hey, Mr. Ramsey. Nice talking to you.
You too, man. So what is your net worth, sir?
I'm just over $1 million at $1.05 million.
Okay. Just got there. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
And what's the mix on that of that? How much of that's what?
About 305 in my personal residence and real estate, about 310 in retirement, 300 in investments, and then I got about 130 in cash.
Good for you. Very cool. And how old are you?
I'm 32.
You're a young millionaire. Way to go.
Yes, sir.
So
Thank
how
you.
much of this did you inherit?
I inherited all of zero of it.
Okay. So I'm guessing you've been making some bank. What's your income?
I'm about at $550,000 a year.
Wow. There we go. That's what that explains it. What do you do for a living?
I'm a dental anesthesiologist, so I put dental patients to sleep for the dentist and make sure they're doing good while they're asleep.
Ah, okay. So obviously you have a degree as an anesthetist.
Yeah, so I have a dental degree, and then I did a residency afterwards.
Okay. Wow. And your GPA?
It's about 3.99 throughout the whole time.
Okay, so you are a genius. Okay. Okay. Fun. Very fun. So, how much of your wealth is due to you borrowing money? I think that's an easy answer. It would be zero because you have just this huge, fabulous income, right?
Well, I actually, before I met you, I'd gone into about $250,000 of debt with dental school.
Mm-hmm.
And I met a guy, one of my friends, Henry Follick. He just did a debt-free stream on your show in May. He introduced me to you in 2012. And, I was making this money, but I had nothing to show for it, really. I thought, maybe I'll pay this off in about 20 years or so. And once I got onto your plan, it just... I got things lined up, and, 4 years later, here I am a millionaire.
Well, congratulations. I'm so proud of you. Very, very well done. That's awesome. Man, you're killing it. Very cool.
Thank you, sir.
So, man, this is cool. So what part has giving played in your financial plan?
I give about just over 10% of my income per year. My parents, I'm evangelical Christian and was raised to tithe, so I tithe every year, and then they're able to give, over that as well when there's something that I see that, some cause I want to give to or something I want to give to. So, about $55,000 a year.
Cool. Non-medical, how many books a year do you read?
I'm doing about 1 to 2 a month, and really, once I got on. I love to read, but really when I got on your plan and, you say, hey, you read a book a month, that's what millionaires do. That's what I want to be a millionaire. So I'm reading 1 to 2 books a month at least right now.
Cool. What's the favorite book you've read lately?
I'm in the middle of A Millionaire Mind by Tom Stanley, so it's kind of fitting for today's call. So
yeah, absolutely. That's where he studied the decamillionaires in that, right?
Exactly. So hopefully I'll be in that category real soon.
Yeah, you will be. At the rate you're going, you're killing it. Very cool. So your advice to young docs coming out, making bank, but just kind of coasting along, spending it all, what would your advice to them be?
Well, I would say if you can avoid the debt going into it, that'd be the best bet. I don't know how, if you got to go to a different school, go the military route, that'd be your best bet. If you're already in it and you're in the situation, you have a couple $100,000 in debt, I would say get on the Dave Ramsey plan, and once you get out, you got to live below your means. That's really what I did, is live below my means, saved a bunch, and you should attack it with a huge, ferocity.
Yeah.
So it's gone.
Cool. Well, way to go, dude. I'm proud of you. Very well done. You're a hero. Well done, well done. So here's the myth. The myth is that all millionaires are crooks. They inherited their wealth, or they're some kind of famous athlete or entertainer or something. And, not there. Not finding it so far. So if you're a millionaire, call in. We want to talk to you because we're telling people the truth about what it takes to become a millionaire. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have any problems when you're a millionaire. It doesn't mean that all millionaires are awesome people. Most of them are. But some of them aren't. Just like all poor people aren't awesome people. Some of them are, but most of them are awesome people, but some of them aren't. Some of them are crooks. So you find that in every socioeconomic strata out there, that there are jerks and that there are crooks. But I got to tell you, most of the people I meet that build wealth, integrity is a big part of the equation. Steve is with us in New York. Hey, Steve, how are you?
Hey, Dave, it's good to join you.
Thank you for being with us. So what is your net worth, sir?
It's about $2.9 million right now.
Okay, very cool. And what's the mix of that?
So we've got our house fully paid off. That's worth about $750,000. We've got about $1.2 million in retirement savings. We've got over $600,000 for our kids in their 529 and UTMAs. We're
Good Lord.
About that.
How many kids have you got?
3, but I'm pretty sensitive about them not having college debt.
Yeah, I think they can go about anywhere they want to go. You've done great. Wow.
Right. Maybe even law school. Who knows?
Yeah, that's right. All kinds of stuff.
So and we've got about another $250 in mutual funds and kind of other savings.
Gotcha.
Like
How old are you?
54.
54, 54?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And how much of this did you inherit?
None. I'm lucky. My parents are both still around.
Nothing. You didn't inherit any of it. Okay.
No.
And what's been your income range during your working lifetime and maybe the average?
Yeah, it's crazy because I was definitely one of those people who started out making $25,000 a year, and it took me 10 years to get to $40,000. And at some point I was making $300,000 because you just keep working, you just keep at it. Because I went from being a professional to a manager to an executive working in entertainment, professional sports for a while, telecommunications. So, I'd say the average is probably between 85 and maybe 95.
So if we were going to give your career a title, what would we call you?
God, I don't know, marketing. I got a marketing professional.
Okay, a marketing guy. Okay, cool. And your degree is in what?
Well, I've got 3 degrees. I've got a bachelor's degree. I've got 2 master's degrees, one in telecommunications, what they used to be called television radio, and one in research and evaluation.
Okay, very cool. Your GPA?
Well, I will probably say I was in the bottom half of my high school class, David, and I was a 3.9 GPA in college. So at a certain point, I did have to turn that around.
At a certain point, you decided to study, huh?
Yeah, right, exactly. I decided that staying in the library till midnight was a good way to spend my time.
Okay, gotcha. And how much of the 2.9 is a result of you borrowing money to build wealth?
Oh, none. It was really just kind of grinding it out. My wife and I both just working hard, just grinding it out.
Gotcha. What part does giving play in your financial plan?
We're really active with our local YMCA. My wife is in board of directors there. Our name is on the wall of the building, so that's something we're pretty proud of. It's a great community resource here where we live out in suburban New Jersey. It's a great community resource for us, and so that's something we're really proud of, being able to support that organization.
Good group. Very cool. What's the most expensive pair of jeans you ever bought?
I do own an expensive pair of jeans. My wife bought me one for Christmas 6 years ago, so that's probably about $100. But I wear them all the time, and they're 6 years old.
Okay, that works. Oh,
I didn't own a car until I was 35. So the areas of my life I skimped on were kind of odd because I just tried to live close to work, and I lived in urban areas where I could just take the train. So I was literally a 35-year-old buying my first car.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's for a New Yorker. Okay, I got you. Yeah. So, what advice do you have for the 25-year-old that's listening? Can anybody still do it in America?
Yeah, I mean, that first part of your career. I mean, I'm almost kind of like semi-retired. I'm a part-time college professor, and I work with young people now. I would say, that early part of your career, really focus on yourself and investing in yourself. And, obviously you don't want to borrow. But, for me, just focusing on my education, getting better at my job, just that, the first 10 years, don't worry about the money right away. Get good at what you do. The money comes later. There you go. Very good. Good word, Steve. Good word. Thank you for joining us, sir. You're a hero. We're talking to millionaires this hour. Real ones, not mythological. The real ones. How did they do it? If you copy them, you might be one. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Meg, what are you excited about right now? Something you're working on?
Well, after the response to Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters that I had from so many men writing and saying, thank you for saying something nice about us, I am determined to reverse the dad bashing trend. And specifically what I'd like to do is I would like to, when I'm working on a book, showing off great dads and how they do things well, because we cannot help the American family if we don't help dads. Mothers are out there doing the best they can, but the reason dads are kind of orbiting the family is because we, moms, and our culture are so critical and demeaning them and pushing them out of the way. So we've got to stop this, because kids need their dads. Every single dad, whether a dad is divorced and kind of estranged from the family, or whether he's involved in the family, every child needs a stronger relationship with his dad, because we know all the data shows you want to boost the self-esteem of kids, get them to spend more time with their dad. Studies are now showing that if a dad spends more time with their child from 0 to 3, test the child's IQ at age 3, it's higher than if he didn't spend time with his dad. So my job really is to champion dads over the next couple of years, so we will stop this crushing on them.
Do I hear a book developing?
Oh, definitely.
You're working on it?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm interviewing a lot of great dads for my book. And right now, and it's wonderful to hear their success stories.
You haven't contacted me yet to talk. Is that coming? No? It's a little awkward?
Little awkward.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, okay.
All big-time extraordinary things start from ordinary things. And they start from changing the ordinary habits in your day-to-day life.
In a heart filled with gratitude, there is no room for discontentment.
So how do we get it back? How do we awaken this wonder in our lives?
Kids develop their identity by getting clues from you about what you think about them, feel about them, and hope for them, and they become who you think they are.
Conflict becomes the price we pay for a deeper level of intimacy.
To think that you can have somebody work that hard and get to the end of their life and have nothing. That's not okay.
I decided to take my life seriously. I want to live, and my life is that serious.
Your decisions from today forward will affect not only your life, but your entire legacy.
So I'm a mom, and I spend more time trying to manage my kids and their devices than anything else. Talking to my kids usually looks like this. Grant, Grant. But not anymore, now that I have Circle. Circle is a new way for families to manage content and time online for every device in the home. Pair Circle with your Wi-Fi and manage everything with the app. So what can Circle do, you ask? How about set a time limit on Facebook for my daughter? Circle actually adds up the time she spends on each of her devices and then cuts her off when she's reached her limit. I can also set up a filter with Circle to make sure my boys don't end up on parts of the internet they shouldn't even know about. Just set the filter profile by age, and then it's easy to customize it by app and category. And if it weren't awesome enough already, Circle partnered with these nice folks to make it even, well, more awesome. And now for some much-needed family time. Thanks, Circle.
Hey, folks, I'm excited to remind you about a very special live event we've got coming up this October the 19th in Dallas, Texas. Now, Dave mentioned this in our first hour, but our Entre Leadership brand, which is our business leadership division, I host the Entre Leadership podcast, and I host the Entre Leadership one-day events. And for the first time ever, that one-day event, which is Dave, Chris Hogan, Christy Wright, and myself all on the stage, and we reveal the Entre Leadership playbook. That is how Dave started this business, Ramsey Solutions, from a card table in his living room, and now, of course, the company that is literally changing millions of lives, 560 plus people and growing. So how did that happen? What's the playbook look like? Well, that's what the one-day event is, and as I said, for the first time ever, we're going to live stream this event. That simply means that you can watch it from anywhere, your office, you can gather people in your church, classrooms at schools, however you want to do it. It's a great opportunity, very affordable for what you're getting that day. So you can join us live in Dallas for the live stream, or I'm sorry, Kansas City. I apologize, Kansas City. I don't know where I'm going to be this fall. I just have to go to DaveRamsey.com, click on events like you do, but it will be in Kansas City. You can join us there for the live site, as I said, or anywhere with the live stream. All the details at DaveRamsey.com. Click on events. Again, that's October 19th in Kansas City. We'd love to see you.
It's a millionaire theme hour. We're talking to real millionaires, not mythology, not political wonk, but real ones. People that have actually $1 million or more in investments and in net worth. Carol is with us in Houston, Texas. Hey, Carol, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What is your net worth?
We have about $4 million.
Excellent. And what is that in?
Mostly mutual funds. About 3% of it is in what I call my emergency fund. It's well over 6 months of expenses, but I just feel more comfortable having some cash for if we want to take a nice vacation or whatever, or buy a car.
Okay. You there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So most of it's in mutual funds. You got a nice fat cash fund for fun and for emergencies. And then what else?
We own our home, and we own our vehicles.
What's your house worth?
About $300,000.
Okay, cool, very cool. How old are you guys?
I'm 54. My husband's 48.
Okay, and how much of this $4 million did you inherit?
We inherited none of it.
Zero.
But to be fair, about $35,000 over the years was gifted to us by parents or grandparents, and then as good stewards of our money and good parents, we gifted forward. We paid forward to our kids. So both of our oldest children, who are in their late 20s, and my son is 30, we gave them about $25,000 between them to purchase their homes and to get started in their homes.
Good, very cool. So what has your household income been, range and average through your working lifetime?
So I started out making $15,000 a year with a college education in the early 80s. It was a tough time. And we went from that to at our highest level, we were probably making between my husband and me about $450,000 a year before I retired. And I retired at 49.
Okay.
And my husband's still working.
Okay. And what were your careers?
I was an information systems executive. Started out as an accountant and kind of worked my way up. Ended my career as an information systems executive for a large hospital system. And my husband is a highly skilled software developer.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Love it. Okay. And your degrees, I'm guessing, are in info systems, right?
No, actually, my degree was in business management. I have a BBA in management, and my husband was a computer science major.
Okay. All right. And GPAs?
I had a 3.8, and I believe his was around 3.4.
Okay, cool. And how much of the $4 million is the result of you having borrowed money to build wealth?
Absolutely none.
Zero. Okay. What part does giving play in your financial plan?
I think it's important to give. We contribute to our church, both on a weekly basis, and then they run building funds and various fundraisers. And then, in addition, we are very interested in the arts, and so we contribute to the arts, as well as other charities that we feel strongly about. So things that are important to us, we support.
Yeah, good, cool. What's the most expensive pair of blue jeans you ever bought?
$35, $40, maybe.
What's the favorite vacation you've ever been on?
Oh, gosh. We like to go to the wine country, so we go there for a week and, stay at $100 a night hotel and go sip wine.
There you go.
For a week.
Okay. So a little Napa or Sonoma action.
Yeah, Sonoma.
I got you. Okay. Very cool. Good. What advice do you have for the 25-year-old version of you that's listening? Can this still be done in America?
I think so. I believe so. My advice would be different from your millennial peers. I have 2 children that are millennials and one daughter who's about to go to college. And so I would encourage them to be different. I have tried to instill a sense of saving in my kids. I'm not sure that the kids these days totally get it. Fortunately, both my kids graduated with no debt from college, as well. Our youngest will graduate with no debt as well. But I would say, pay off your mortgage as fast as you can. Save. If you're married and you can, live on one income, so that you can be in the situation where we were. I earned more than my husband did. But when it came time for us to look at changing our lifestyle, which was incredibly stressful, we decided that I would stop working and we would live on his income. And we've been doing that. Actually, his income has actually dropped by a third since then, just because of the economy. But we still live on his income. And I would say that we go through his paycheck every month, but we don't dip into savings. And we don't feel the need to.
So the $4 million came from the $4 million came from just month after month after month after month for 30 years saving money.
Saving money, grinding it out. Lots of investment gains between 2008 and 2016.
Yeah, and then the investments did well. Yeah.
And we stayed invested when a lot of people pulled their money out. So yes, we rode the roller coaster down, which was incredibly scary, but we rode the roller coaster back up.
Yeah. What was it Warren Buffett said? Somebody asked him how much money he lost when the stock market went down. He said, none, I didn't sell.
Yep. you only lose if you sell, and that's exactly right. But I would encourage young people today to not buy into the idea that you have to go out to lunch every day and spend $15 for a hamburger. Take your lunch. My husband takes his lunch to work.
And he's worth $4 million.
Take my lunch to work. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Pay cash for everything you can.
The blue jeans were $35, and they're staying in $100 a night hotels. Yeah, there you go. Love it. You're heroes. Carol, it's an honor to talk to you. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
It's a Millionaire Theme Hour on the Dave Ramsey Show. Terry is next in Denver. Hi, Terry. How are you?
I'm wonderful. This is fulfilling a dream. I've always wanted to be on your show, so I'm thrilled.
Well, I'm glad you're here. What's your net worth?
1.4.
Cool. And how old are you?
72.
72. And what does the 1.4 consist of?
Well, I've got 420 in Vanguard mutual funds and IRAs, and I've got 100,000 in a thrift savings program because I was a government employee,
Mm-hmm.
and about $70K in checking and a 529 fund for my relative.
Mm-hmm. And where's the rest of it? That's about $900.
Well, my house is worth about $200K, and then I've got $80,000 in checking and emergency fund.
Okay, gotcha. How much of this $1.4 million did you inherit?
Nothing.
0. Okay. How much of it did you steal from people?
I didn't.
You're not
I'm
a crook,
the master of the good deal.
You're not
Bargain
a crook
for everything.
What was your average income or your household range of income through your working lifetime?
I'm a retired teacher. I started out 40 years ago at $5,000, and the most money I ever made in a year was $50,000.
Wow. So you're just a master saver, aren't you?
I am. I love to bargain and live below my means.
Yeah. So your degree was in education?
Yes, elementary education. I've got my master's in gifted education to work with kids like you, smart.
So what was your GPA in college?
Well, actually, I flunked out the first year in undergraduate due to learning disabilities that were undiagnosed, and then I went back and got a 3.0 in my master's program.
Good for you. Wow, that's cool. So how much of the $1.4 million is there because you borrowed money and turned that into wealth?
I couldn't live on the 2 part-time jobs that I had in college, so I borrowed $5,000 in a student loan, and I worked 2 jobs the first 2 years of teaching so I could pay it off.
Now,
right away.
Did you borrow to invest ever?
Never.
Okay. All right. Cool. Very cool. You did it. You're a millionaire. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love it. It's an honor to talk to you. Very, very fun. One of America's heroes. Starts from nothing. She's a teacher. Never makes over $50,000 in her life and has a net worth of $72 of $1.4 million. It can be done. You just make these choices. Way to go, Terry. I'm glad to talk to you. This is the Dave Ramsey Show on a Millionaire Theme Hour.
We're done. Time to enjoy it.
How'd it go?
Went great.
I would absolutely recommend Churchill Mortgage to any of my friends, family, coworkers. They treated me like as if I was buying $1 million home, and that just made such a huge difference, knowing that I'm more around the 100,000 range than $1 million, but yet the treatment was just very respectful and very professional.
Call Churchill Mortgage today or visit us online to discover why we're the only mortgage company Dave Ramsey has ever endorsed.
Scripture of the day, Philippians 3:14. I press on toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. Wilma Rudolph, former Olympian, I had the honor of meeting, spending some time with one time, said, never underestimate the power of dreams and the influence of the human spirit. Tammy and Stacy are with us in Tulsa, Oklahoma on our Millionaire Theme Hour. Hey, guys, how are you?
We're doing great.
Great, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. So what's your all's net worth?
We are 3.5.
3.5 million. And what is the mix of that? What's that invested in?
It's $1 million is real estate, $250 is IRAs, and the rest is investments, bonds, mutual funds, the mix.
Okay, very cool. A little bit of everything there. How old are you guys?
I am 50.
And I'm 51.
All right. Very good. Young millionaires, considering this net worth. How much of this did you inherit?
Nothing.
Zero. And
yes.
What's been your range of and average household income roughly through your working life?
Anywhere between $15,000 to $250 a piece.
To $250, okay. And what careers were you guys in?
Well, our last venture was a portable restroom company. So that's kind of where it all ended up, in the kind of sales and marketing and owning a portable restroom company.
Okay. Like porta potties?
Porta potties.
I love it. The porta potty millionaires. I love it. That's awesome. Okay. And what were your degrees in?
I had a court reporting certificate, but neither one of us had a college degree.
Wow.
A degree of hard knocks.
I hear you. Okay. So have you owned businesses, or what did you do to, other than the porta potty, you said it's the last venture, but what have you done to earn your living? What's been your general career track?
I worked for Fortune 500 waste management company.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I went. My friends always tell me I went from scrap to crap, Dave, and that's kind of where I ended up.
That's a great line, and it worked out for you. I'll just tell you. That's very good.
It did.
So, what was your GPA in high school since you didn't go to college?
Dave, how about my teachers called my wife and said, you need to get him to class.
Okay.
That was the last one, so I didn't do too well in school.
Gotcha.
Mine was a 3.8.
Oh, okay. So that's why you were getting him to class. I got it. Okay.
Yes, it is.
All right. Yeah, he married the smart girl. Good for him. All right. Oh, it worked out good. This is fun. So how much of the $3.5 million would you say is a result of you borrowing money in order to build wealth?
We started off borrowing $100,000 to start the business, and then we did not borrow money again until we bought our partner out, which that was $1.2 million to buy him out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And are you debt free now?
Yes.
So you turned around and paid that back off then?
Oh yes. As soon as yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. What part has giving played in your financial planning?
Well, that's the a lot of the things when I was growing up, that the money I earned, that was one of my faults. I would give it away. So that's kind of, we've learned a lot from exactly what you had mentioned. We save and give. We not only give financially, but we give a lot of ourselves just to help people. We have a ministry, and so we do a lot of ministry work and help people as much as we can. And we believe whatever God leads us to do, that's kind of where we're at.
Gotcha. What's the most expensive pair of jeans you ever bought?
Mine is $50.
Dave, I still have some of the jeans from high school, so
I'm not shocked.
My daughters keep telling Dad, you need to get some new jeans, but my last thing I bought was running shoes.
Gotcha. Okay. And what's the best vacation you guys have ever taken?
Well, Dave, the best vacation is probably we've been to Dominican Republic, but we're getting ready to celebrate our 30-year anniversary. So that's going to be one trip in a lifetime to Bora Bora.
Oh, ding, ding. Yes, you should. You better. That's awesome. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So what advice have you got to the 23-year-old you that's listening? Can this still be done in America?
Yes, it most certainly can. I think the best advice I would say is we've worked together since we've been together, and communication, having goals together and know where you're going with the business and also financially. Always having a budget. Work hard while you can with a balanced life, but at the same time, save no matter what. I don't care if it's 10 cents or $1 each paycheck. You always have to be saving.
How many books a year do you two read?
Well, Dave, I actually read a lot, and I think that's one of the things that really got me along in life, and I'd mention that to any young entrepreneur, male or female, to read a lot of leadership books, something that continues building you up in esteem. I mean, there's a lot of great books out there. I've one of them definitely is Inspired Leadership by Dave Ramsey, which is a great one. And then, just a lot of books, and then also inspirational things we would do is put cards up, all things are possible, whom to believe, a true entrepreneur is a doer, not a dreamer, just things that always remind us that, we're better than the world. We can definitely conquer everything, just keep on keeping on. But I probably read 4 or 5 books a month.
Wow. Okay, very cool. Very cool. That's great advice. You guys are absolute rock stars. $3.5 million. Enjoy Bora Bora. You've earned it. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
We just greatly appreciate you, Dave, and all you've done, and how you spread the word. It is a true thing. It's just one last thing. My daughter does keep a thing in her dashboard of her car. If you live like no one else, later you can live like no one else. So she keeps that in her car and reminds her 18-year-old friends to do the same.
That's perfect. And she can point to her mom and dad and say, that's how they did it. That's exactly how they did it. You guys lived like no one else, and now you're able to live and give like no one else. And it fits the pattern of your life. It's who you are. It's the character of your personhood. Way to go. I'm so honored to talk to you. You're heroes. That's very, very cool. So I talked to people with $2.8 million, $1,050,000, $2.9 million, $4 million, $1.4 million, and $3.5 million. I didn't find any crooks. I didn't find anybody that had inherited their wealth. I didn't talk to any NFL or NBA or MLB players. I didn't talk to a single rock star. I didn't talk to a famous actor or actress. They all started from nothing, inherited nothing, and there were a lot of them made good money at some point. I mean, 300 and 500 and 300 and 450, and one lady was a teacher, never made over 50. And this last was up to 350 or 250. So, I mean, but they didn't start there. Then that wasn't the bulk. That was their high points in their earnings. And they worked there. They're all readers. All average price pair of jeans is well under $100. And so, you're walking around buying $200 jeans, driving a car you can't afford, making $45,000 a year. You're not going to be a millionaire because you just heard how you do it. This is how you do it. And when you hear people on the political warpath out there saying that all these rich people need to be punished, these are the people you're talking about. So you need to watch your mouth. They started with nothing and they earned their money. And so taking their money in the name of a political ideology is called theft. And you should be ashamed of yourself talking about that. And you should go get you some. You should go win. Get them. Get them. Every one of them said it can be done today. It can still be done today. I'm so dumb I had to do it twice, you guys. It's real. It really is real. And that's a message that's the truth. Wow. Love a Millionaire Theme Hour. I always come away so inspired. Thanks to James Childs, our producer. Blake Thompson's our senior executive producer. And, of course, Kelly Daniels set all this up as our associate producer and phone screener. I am Dave Ramsey. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. We spent 2.5 years of our life losing everything we owned. We were bankrupt. Changed my life. So I know how it feels to be there. I've been there, done that. That began a quest to figure out how money really works.
We don't talk about problems, we talk about solutions.
We must understand we've got an opportunity.
Take that short-term sacrifice for incredible long-term results.
You've probably not had anybody tell you that you can do this.
You can change the story. I want to challenge you. What could you do today?
I want you to dream a dream that you can't imagine not achieving.
You'll start to gain traction. You'll start to win with money and ultimately live the life you want to live.
So how do we get it back? How do we awaken this wonder in our lives?
The caliber of your life is going to be depending upon the choices you make right now.
If you can be focused and you can be intense, you can do this stuff. This is not Siri.
This stuff works.
Again, louder!